Good num num morning. We are back. If my voice sounds a little bit more worn, it's because it is. No matter what, I think I can't BS it. I think I have to take tomorrow off. As much as I want to play more of this game, continue pushing on, I think I've got to reach a point where it's like, yesterday I felt it a little bit, today I'm feeling it quite a bit more. It's like, I think tomorrow, no matter what, I've got to just take it off. As much as I really want to see the end of this and try and get it done before Sonic Origins comes out next Thursday. When did this show up? This wasn't here last time. Oh, I guess we got something to start with, I guess. Yori! Hey, you can hear it in my throat's going a little bit. Yori! Karara! Call for the pool. Ooh, good idea, let's go. Walking along the edge of a pool feels so nice and cool. But anyway, what as my throat attempts to find its place this morning, the intention after this is go to the Ryza DLC and get that done, because we've got that one last area. We need to do the super boss side quest, or potential super boss side quest, and then hopefully, if there's a decent amount of time, actually start Owl's Hardscape. Actually, finally see what's going on in there. Walking around the edge along the edge of the pool feels so nice and cool. Be careful not to slip, Owl. Maybe you should be careful, Hiyori. I'll be fine. I know how to skate. That's not really the same thing, but I would like to see you skate sometime, Hiyori. I wonder if I could build a skating rink here. I feel like that might not be... Ah! Ow! Ugh. Can't believe I slipped right after she told me to be careful, but this was pretty good. Ow, I'm coming! Huh? Ow! Stay with me! Ow! Oh no, what should I do? I feel totally fine, but you're already so worked up. I feel like I can't open my eyes now. I have to get help, but I can't leave out here like this. He's really worried about me. I wish the circumstances were different, but I'm glad. I know it's kind of bad, but I want to stay like this a little longer. Oh, I know what to do. CPR. CPR. Scramble to your feet or keep pretending. What should I do? I guess I have to see how this plays out. I need to blow air into her lungs through her mouth. I'll save you, Owl. Oh, I saw something sweet. Is that Hiyori? Oh, my heart's racing all of a sudden. Can't do this anymore. No, I'm fine, I'm fine. Ow? I'm so sorry, I wasn't really drowning, I was just pretending. What? Ow, you idiot! I was really worried. I know, I'm sorry. Why would you pretend to be drowning? You were just so cute, I don't see how I've possibly been cute about me just now. No, really, you were so worried about me, you got all panicky and flustered. That's not really what I was going for. Sorry, I'm just glad that you were really worried about me. I wanted to hold on to that feeling a little bit longer. I'm always worried about you, Owl. Huh? I worry about a lot of things, like your skirts. Your skirt seems to have a mind of its own right now. Like, whether you're pushing yourself too hard, or whether you're hurt, whether you're hungry. So let me know if you need anything, okay? I'll always be there for you. Yeah, thanks, Hiyori. A warm gaze. Because I know there's probably an absolute mountain ton of little events I've missed anyway, and it's like, are some of them for different time of days and locations as well? Like rooftop storage? What are you doing up here? I just want to find more little scenes, and it's like, does the weather need to be different? Does the time of day need to be different? Because I kind of just let it ride wherever the weather is, but now it's super cloudy. But it's like, would there be other stuff if it was raining? Times we got anyway. Sorry, I'm still waking up a bit. So I don't have as much energy. I stayed up late-ish watching the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary event, and then catching up the Capcom event thereafter. The Dragon's Dogma thing, the 10th anniversary of that. And both of them were really good and exciting for the record. It was like 11:30 PM I think I went to bed. Which might not sound too late for some of you, but for me that's knockout. That's Oh, speaking of optional scenes. Hey Hiyori, could you come over here? Huh? What is it? I thought so. You have a little tear in the back of your clothes. Oh no, I must have snagged it somewhere. Well, you've been wearing it for a long time now, it happens. I guess I'll go cry to Shiho so she'll fix it for me. I also want to change that back to the hot spring to see if that gets a new date. Since we seem to have seen all the ones for at least for now with the party feeling. I could also swap this with the other one and see if that triggers a different date. Was there... I think we already replaced one, but I'm sure there was one. Oh, hang on, that was it, wasn't it? Yes. So let's replace it with these ones and see if that also triggers a potential, like, extra date. And then let's do that to see if that triggers anything. No, damn. Well, I was optimistic. Alright, Reina, let's go do your quest. Oh, it was in... Where was it? Was it in the Hirahara Sisters? It was, okay. Oh, jeez. I wonder if that's it over there. Alright, let's find out this was a mistake. Hey, you big fuck. Did I swap my party back to normal at the end of the last part, after the beach shenanigans? I don't know if I did. Oh god, this looks like a bit of a menace. Uh-oh. I did, okay. Oh, I got an extra stun gun beyond the one I just made. Just hit it with a stun gun. I think when we do go through the new NG Plus in hard mode, I might turn off that animation. Oh, that was unfortunate timing. Can I just, is there something that's just like huge ether boost, recovery speed up, like a huge boost? That's S, recovery boost. Ether recovery speed up S. Speed up M, that's... Just because I want to see if I can at least try to get back up to 1 just before this attack comes in. Come on. Nice. Well, I've still got a bit of time. Wait for it to hit 2. Then I'll do that. I don't know if that ended up helping and made the difference, so boosting the speed boost, but I'm going to pretend it did for my consciousness. And I trust the AI to do their thing. Okay, this thing doesn't seem too bad. I mean, it's a bigger threat, don't get me wrong. Oh, now we got the 1v1. Like, it's a bigger threat than some of the things we fought, but at the same time, it's still not too bad. Okay, yeah, it's fucked. Just apply this and start going to town, we should win. Before he gets to actually get a chance to do anything again. Yeah, it's done. Alright, that was a bigger boss threat, so I'm glad we did it, and we did it uniquely, instead of just at the end of the last one, but at the same time, it was like, it wasn't as big as I hoped it would be. Now watch this thing like drop way too much experience. Yeah, 6,000 that we don't need. Alright, let's go turn this into Reina. Wherever she may be. Oh, okay. If they're not out in the open on the ground floor, I just warp to them because I'm not going to find them quickly otherwise. Jeez, it's ridiculous. Let's make this the first and last time. Have this. I'm glad we didn't have too much trouble with that demon. They were pretty tough. Thank you for that, Toshizaki. You were a big help in more ways than one. That thing may have been a little tough on your own, but you don't need to thank me. This was on my own good as well. I don't mean just to fight. I think I've been a little distracted lately. We don't know how much longer we're staying in Oasis, and who knows what our future beyond it will bring. It's true that I wanted to brush up on my fighting skills, but I think I really was just trying to distract myself. Reina. Fighting alongside with you? I think it helps. Thank you, Hoshizaki. Well, I'm glad I could help. I'm counting on you, leader. You got it. Oh god, there's a lot of people in here. There's quite a few faces just waddling around the library. I mean, it's quite nice. Oh my god, I didn't even spot Shio back there. There's a lot of people in the library. And the thing is, the only reason why I'm convinced there's going to be at least one more dating event is because we haven't seen Uta's rank 8. You know, her special scene for rank 8, and that to me would probably come along around the same time they add another list of dates. At least I hope. Dun 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 dun. Yes. Sorry, I don't think I'm ever not gonna. And there's also things like this. Like, how do we get that? Is that hitting her rank 10? I am the hoop. Sorry, that still makes me laugh. Such a dumb but brilliant special. Okay, and recovers HP after each time around the support ring. That's pretty good. Don't we have something similar to that? It's higher chance. Yeah, sure. Let's just do that because I hope they stack. I don't actually know if they do. Damage dealt based on combat. I'll do that. I don't know if they stack. I just am hoping they do. Also, when I go into New Game Plus, even if the level doesn't carry over, if the fragments equipped could carry over, so I don't have to organize it all again, that would, assuming the fragments themselves even carry over, that would be nice. But then saying that, I think it would probably be in my best interest to try and experiment a little bit more when we go into NG Plus, instead of just going for the comfort ones, because that's basically what I've been doing. I go to the ones that I know I'll be comfortable with, which are attack boost, defense boost. I tend to do fine in 1v1s, so I haven't bothered with that. The only time I use support skills is when it's you know, now on Hiyori, since she's the support's extra all the time. Did we ever get Reina's night pool? Because now she's rank 9, she might have unlocked more dates. I know I'm like wasting time here, but it's like, you know me, I want to see everything. So let's do this, the night pool, and put that over it, and see if Reina has any interest. Now she's rank 9. No, she does not. Okay. Alright, alrighty then. Let's go to Ryza, and there still says an enemy we've missed over there. I'm really curious what that's about. Let's go to the underwater treasure. And the thing is, once we've done and like completely wrapped up Ryza's hardscape, I can finally get rid of the cauldron and put something else there. Because I don't think the cauldron's tied to like any dates at all. I don't think it has any date like data. Or date potential data. Alright. A Dunkelheit. Oh, that's what the things we need. We need like a whole bunch of them, don't we? So, we have to do our best to match their feelings, okay? Oh, there's a bit in the bush. This is a shortcut. God, I can't see shit. Oh, they're reusing this from Kokoro's. The lantern is the fog. I'm surprised they didn't do more gimmicky things like this throughout the game. Like, they did a few, like the Hirahara sisters having, like, the bridge, the light bridges. But I was kind of expecting them to, like, have every single dungeon has its own, like, gimmick you have to worry about. But then it's like, Shiho's didn't really. I don't think it had a gimmick really at all. You just kind of went through it. Hina's didn't. Reina's, I'm glad, doesn't. Because I think that one was like the most story significant of a lot of them. So that one not really having what, like, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Kirara, unless you want to count the doors in the shrine, I guess. That didn't really have one. Yuki's did, and I'm glad it did, because it was, you know, building the hearts. It was like literally repairing, well, not repairing, it was, no matter what Yuki tried, Reina was never going to give up on her. And Uta's, we still don't really know, because, you know, we haven't got it all, and Ao, obviously, we don't know. But it's kind of strange, it's like there's only been like 2 real dungeons that have really like committed to a gimmick. Like, there might have been like the odd moment, it was like the first dungeon had a full stealth section that was actually like still one of the most fun stealth sections in the game, because the area you do it in feels well built for it. As in, there was like different, like there was a lot of different options, there was several different directions, there was multiple approaches, it was really fun. But it's like the only time they've done that. Also, we got beat up quite hard there. I'm gonna stay in here no matter what. I need to make more rattan baskets soon. I know we got the Hades lunches as well, but yeah. But yeah, I'm just surprised there wasn't as many dungeon gimmicks. Because it's the reason why dungeon gimmicks exist in any game. It's because they know if it'll eventually start to feel like a palette swap instead of an actual new location. And to be fair, I don't think this game has that problem, even without the many dungeons having gimmicks. I think each dungeon has enough of its own identity anyway that it feels unique from one another. And there are ones that I like a lot, ones that I think are pretty good, but no, you know, like not as good as some of the others. But I genuinely think Kirara probably has like one of the weaker ones, because it's just kind of forgetful. Like the last area is all right for it, but the first 2 zones, it's kind of like you just go through it and you're like, okay. And I think Reina and Yuki. Well, Reina's still my favourite dungeon theme, but I think Yuki's my favourite dungeon because of how they handled that hospital bit at the front, where it was kind of like not an overly complicated teleport maze, but still a teleport maze, and it made sense because Yuki's mind would be so distorted and all over the place because of how she feels and how she thinks she's doing. Because keep in mind, she saw herself as just this grand betrayer that was ruining all of her friends' lives and that deserved to die. So of course, her memories of the hospital ward wouldn't just reflect, you know, her death and the life she lived, it would also reflect her feelings. And so it being confused and it all over the place makes sense. And I think Shio's dungeon, now that I think about it, like, it's more because it's like, it's the same thing a lot of games have. It's like you can put lots of, oh Jesus Christ, I just saw the health. Yeah, just to get her from like the brink, please. This area is extremely dangerous, but we're at the level cap, so we've just got to deal with it. Nice. But yeah, I think Hades lunges are the way to go. The HP gain L, we kind of need that extra, because this is kind of wild. I think Reyna would actually do alright in this dungeon, I think about it, because of her more defensive and supportive nature. I might be able to put her on like full like support mode here. And she's got, you know, built-in healing from rank 1. And that's fair. So I think we've got a rank 1 heal with Shio now, I think. But it's just, you know, Reyna's kind of the better one for it. I'll go another couple fights, but if it seems like we're barely surviving every single encounter, then yeah, I will swap out and get Reyna in, just to have that support unit. I just wish there was more we could do. Fee? Thanks, Patty. It's the thought that counts. As long as we have each other, we'll all be okay. Fee? So we have to do our best to match their feelings. Okay. Fee. Oh, Ryza's soundtrack is so good. I forgot how much I enjoy Ryza's soundtrack. So mistaken, the forest is filled with mana. Just, like all the other ruins. I imagine that was just like all the other ruins. Oh my... How many enemies are hiding in the fog? Look at this! Can we even see the lantern? I don't think... At least I can't. Well, let's fight you to get an idea of how in over our heads we actually are. There's a part of me that's kind of appreciating that this is difficult, though. It was the same with... when we first got access to the Ryza DLC, and I was saying at that point, it's like even though it was like level 25, it really felt like we was out like in over our heads there. I'm feeling it again here, and I like that. Just to make sure we get topped up, because I imagine more pain is coming. Yeah, that was goodish timing then. These enemies are desperate to slow us down, which is slightly worrying. Oh, and temperature-wise, because I said I might not stream today depending on how hot it is. Apparently it's hotter, but maybe it's just like that slight adjustment starting to kick in, but at least right now it doesn't feel as bad as it did yesterday. At least to me. Despite the fact that the weather says it's hotter today, I'm okay, touch wood, right now. Obviously, if I can help it, I'd rather not stream past the hottest hour again, like yesterday. I don't want to be streaming past 1 too much. Holy shit. I might turn this into my own stealth section. This is kind of insane. I'll fight one of these snake guys, just so we can get them like logged on as an enemy we have fought. But then after that, I think we might just try and dodge and weave. Drop another one of these on us. Yes, we will need to make more food soonish. I do kind of wish I knew when the last opportunity for dates really was. If I'm honest, like it's something that's been like, cause it's been like, not like doing anything with my anxiety, because that sometimes happens in some games, where it's like I genuinely don't know how much time I got left to do X, Y, and Z. And this game does seem to be a lot more generous in that sense compared to the first. But it is just kind of like sitting in the back of my mind. It's like, should I be like being hyper specific on like combinations of items and whatnot to try and trigger very specific dates now? Or am I okay for another round? As I said, the only reason I'm banking on there being another round is because we haven't got access to Uta's rank 8. And I imagine you don't until after we get to do Uta's Heartscape. Or maybe at least do Owl's Heartscape. And maybe she'll say something like, oh, I never knew X and Y and Z about you, Owl. Now I do. Let's talk about it. Oh, alright, we've been caught, just bug it. It will lose us because we picked up an item. I can use this to stay invisible because it gives you a little bit of iframes. Alright, let's see. What do you feel, Seri? There's no mistaking it, this forest is filled with mana, just like all the other ruins. With so much mana, it won't be affecting just the grass and trees. There are sure to be beasts, too. That's true. I can sense the presence of extremely powerful monsters. Which one's the gruff guy in the first game? Is that Lent or is that Tao? One of them's the kid, like the boy that's with you, and the other's like the big gruff dude who doesn't get along with his old man. I think Lent's the one that's the gruff dude from Ryza. We just need to be careful moving forward. It's been a while since I played Ryza 1, alright? I don't remember everything. Ah, I thought I got away with that. Oh, jeez. Yeah, sorry. Oh, not that you heard it, because I thankfully managed to mute my mic in time. I just needed to clear out my throat. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again, god dang it. Ugh. Besides, I haven't got a cold or anything. I think it's just like glimmers of hay fever, which is wild because I never had hay fever as a kid. I've just developed it as an adult, it seems. And so sometimes I just get a bit sneezy. To be fair, what that didn't help is that before I started streaming today, I de-dusted some of my room, and so that's also something that could have been like, you know, twigging, you know how it is. Okay, I've got to focus on this jackass on the end, because he's doing a lot of damage and slowing us down. And he's a lot quicker than the rest. There we go. Oh, again. Yeah, sorry. I just want to see if this enemy will die before 15 or not. What one do I... God damn it, that's 4 sneezes now. Enough! Enough! Let's do bath time cooking on the thing. Oh, so she's not that she stretches back, she's literally undoes the costume. She's reaching for the zip on the back of her costume. That's hilarious. Still an amazing resonance tied. So my favourite one in terms of spectacle is the one with Hina, with the singing. My favourite one in terms of insanity is the one with Hiyori. But the rest are really charming too. Oh, is there another lantern up here? I hope so. But I say that Hina's is damn hilarious. Not Hina, Reina, sorry, is damn hilarious. Pick up the item because the enemy loses us for a sec. Finally found it. Oh, okay, there's a lot of you fucks up here. Oh! Poisonous fog? What are we going to do? We need to get out of here. Don't panic, we're not dead yet. I don't think this fog is poisonous. Oh, I guess you're right. Hey, look, it's hard to make out, but doesn't that look like part of the ruins? Looks that way, so we finally found it. Hey boys, you gonna let me out? You all are completely aware of me. Let me just pick up this so you lose sight of me for a minute. Excuse me. Oh, I don't think there was another lantern in there. Oh god, so you can see me too? I'm trying to see if I can see over it now we're higher up, but I can't see anything that suggests. Is this enemy going to turn around, or is it... Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I'm not even done dusting my room. I just did, like, some of it, and I was like, oh, I'll do the rest later on. Okay, yeah. I think the reason why I'm trying to push on and not use the and like not leave to restock items is because I know we're gonna have to try and squeeze through all of these enemies again if I do. So I'm desperately trying to get as far as I can, if not finish it, because I don't know if there's going to be an opportunity to actually open up a shortcut later. Well, unless we get like a shit ton of the flowers, which to be fair, we can ether make them now, I think. I don't think they're like locked into the DLC only. I think we can do the ether charge to make more if we need it to make the cauldron and try and max that out to see how many more shortcuts we could potentially open up. 3,000? What the? I want to see what this is. Hang on. Oh, you won't get to see it though, but it looked like it was going to be cool. It's okay. It's okay, Al. I believed it was going to be super cool. Yeah. This one's something that, once I get onto something, I can stay focused like an arrow. Dunkelheit. I can't even remember how many Dunkelheits we need. And I'm guessing one of the things you open up is like a ladder to get up there to get that recipe. You really get tunnel vision when you're working hard, don't you? Oh, I've always been like that. Once I get into something, I stay focused like an arrow. You must have caused lots of trouble to your friends growing up. Hey, that's not very nice. I happen to think it's a good thing. Alright, let's go see what this void space is and how quickly I regret approaching it. Oh, so this is a shortcut there, yeah. Can I affect this at all? Damn, I was hoping it'd be like, hey, there's an item you can use to cut this open so you don't have to completely circle the entire dungeon to get it next time. And this looks some kind of oh, we got too close. Alright, OG4, since, you know, they have to assume that you could get here at any point. Our amazing adventures go by before we know it. I want to be with everyone for as long as I can. Yeah, I'm feeling that going through this game, I'll be honest. But time flies when you're having fun. I understand. I'll be a little lonely, but... well, I've been alone there for a while now. The whole reason I came here was to see everyone again. So really, things are just going back to the way they were. What's happening? Oh my god. That's... her emotions are getting stronger. That must be why it appeared. This guy is huge! I'm sure we'll find out what Ryza did after we defeat this thing. Let's do this. This is hilarious. Look at these. The big pony! Level 50, 56,000 health. Oh, jeez. And it's super resistant to a lot of elements. Great. Okay, it's just attacking. You can try stun gun it, see if you get even remotely lucky. Did we even get to use the stun gun against that side quest boss we did for Reina? I think it went into the 1v1 before he actually like completely cycled round. Let's see if this even does anything. Oh, okay, some of it hit. I don't know if everything on its list of statuses affected it, but we got there. I need to make a better habit of using these status items. Like, I need to make a whole bunch of stun guns, really. Because there are some enemies and some bosses that are affected by it, clearly. And I think it would help turn the tide now we're at the level cap. When we start reaching enemies that are also around that level cap. We know that we can't just power level. What was that sound effect? Bloop, 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 bloop. Ah, you resist that, damn it. So I only wanted to attack twice. So once you keep out at about 1, just in case it does a charge up. I'm also, I know it's going to be a bit bonkers, gonna do this. I don't know who I'm going to swap her with, but I want to swap her in with someone. Actually, no, because she'll come in at... I was going to say, if she came in at like the gear level these girls are at, then I would. But I think it's actually worth holding off. But that will be a problem if I can't solve that like immediately, so... Where is status recovery? So I need to get rid of stop. Okay, nice. Oh god. And I'm just gonna let this build up. So I don't even think, look how like much health it's still got. I don't even think the resonance blaze will kill it. The resonance tide, sorry. But we are going to try anyway. So Rice Showdown, here we go. Let's see if this kills. It needs to do like 56,000 damage. Uh oh, let's do the rice meteors. If it doesn't kill, we might be in a little bit of trouble though, because it will reset our combo counter, so we will be doing less damage again. Alright, 50 odd thousand. If it can get us at least super close. Okay. Oh my god. That's it. Ooh. Ooh, okay. That's a lot less than I thought it would be. Uh-oh. Let's throw a net over it. I'm just going to wait out Owl's recovery. Yeah, there we are. No, I'll leave it at that, keep it on from 1. Oh, it just stacks a shield counter when you use that. Look, it just says shield times 1. So it's not a timed thing, it just stays there. So that's actually a really good setup skill. Set everyone up, make sure everyone's still in top form. Okay. I wasn't sure how the fuck I was going to time that, if I'm honest. Okay, we got it. It's hard to tell when it's just a blob. I'm going to be honest. It's a lot harder to read. Oh, I did get that. I thought I didn't. I did that way too early. It's really hard to read when it's just a blob monster, you know? I need you to go back up to 15, please. There we go. Bath time cooking. Yep, and it's just going to get all ready and all comfy for it. I don't mind that these are really long animations because they're fun animations. I just grin at them every time I see them. And the real treat is that we haven't been touched with knocked back yet. Alright, we're getting there. Maybe one more. Okay, we've got an extra one off shield anyway. Not that it matters, we've just reset the combo anyway. Okay, yeah, so that's the safety defense. That's actually great to have. Let's use some of these, because we do have these as well. Even if the boost is different, it still would be nice. Give one top form. And I am going to establish another of the mega shields, just so I don't have to worry about it later. Because now I know that that's there and that's how that works. That's a godsend. Of course I'm going to use that. It's kind of... I'm kind of surprised that Owl seems to be the only character to have a skill like that. Maybe the others do somewhere as well, I just haven't noticed. But it seems like they're a little behind in that regard. I'm letting theirs build up because I know they're only attacking on their one attack, so it's taking a lot longer. I want them to get all the way up to 5 and then just go crazy. No, we're doing okay on health. We're nearly at 15 again. Let's see what happens first. It dies when we hit 15. Or Shio dies. Okay, let me just correct that before we get into too much trouble. This will probably kill. When she goes into her full goth phase. She goes like full evil eye. Her goth anime phase. There we go. Okay, that was just... That fight wasn't hard really at all, I don't think. It was just a really, 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 really tanky boy. But I think we were good on resources. We were good on setup. 25,790 experience is such a goddamn waste. As long as we all keep working towards our own goals, our paths may very well cross again one day. Yeah. I'm going to keep moving forward. Ryza. On an ordinary island called Kirken Island, in an ordinary village of Raisenboden. I left that village and found myself, by chance, dropped into an extraordinary adventure. Right next to a huge, bustling metropolis, we had an adventure no one else knew about. An adventure that was just for us. And I just realised that it's her atelier in the back. But yeah, it's part of the reason why I love Ryza 1. It's that Ryza 1, it's like an adventure the kids go on. I love like the spirit of the game. Had many new encounters and many sad goodbyes. Even if our adventure ended, the memories we made are forever. Isn't that right? Huh? She's gone. Ow. Memories are forever. I'm sure she didn't mean to say that to us. Even so, I feel like I learned something important. There may come a time where we have to say goodbye, which is why we should be sure to enjoy the time we have together. Yeah. Reconnection confirmed. This reconnection has caused no instability in the world structure. Reconnection. I'm glad we got to meet Ryza. But why did this hardscape appear in the first place? I don't know. It's possible that she's out there somewhere far away, or maybe what she saw wasn't even real. But that doesn't matter. Those emotions were real. Yeah. Who is Ryza? Where is she from? Why did the hardscape appear? There's a lot we still don't know. Still, this all must mean something, and I learned a lot. Oh, it's all their weapons. That's cute. That's really cute. Oh, it's all of the Ryza characters' weapons. That's really, really sweet. I like that. We may have only been together for a short time, but our memories will last forever. We are going to carry on these feelings that Ryza felt during her adventure. The new World Transcendent Feelings fragment. It's different from the others. It must contain Ryza's memories. This is all cool. This back room. Anyway, what's this fragment we picked up? And I hope it's really good considering what you have to go through to get it. A chance of getting an item back after using it. Oh, that's good. Alright, let me clean up these loot. And see how many Duncan hits we need. I'm almost definitely pronouncing it wrong when I'm saying Duncan height. Oh, we have exactly enough. Yeah, we've seen this scene a million times. Obstacles in the area have been removed. 20 fucking mops. Oh, god damn it. Here we go again. Sorry, let's make 50 fucking hammers while I'm at it. Ugh. We still haven't actually found an area that requires us to use the mop. Okay, what? Let's make 8 so I can actually see what it is we're missing. Blackened lumber. Okay, it's not that. Not that. Blackened lumber then, really, I think. And I'll make a couple Duncan heights if I can help it as well. Where is blackened lumber? Ah, there we go. Oh, no. $700, oh jeez. Nice. Right, back to Mopmageddon. Where is it? There. Alright, and let's see how many hundreds of things he wants us to make for the next piece. I hope we at least get something for maxing it out, other than just, you know, the stuff we find in Ryza's dungeon. Alright, and then it should be one more, and this should be the last one, I think. Hades lunches? Oh, but I need them. Game! No! Bad! Oh, it's oh no, it's not in my favorite. I need to put it on my favorite menu. There it is. Squared add to favorites. Follower's perspective. Okay, Jack-o'-lantern's not the problem. Crimson Leaf's the problem. Got it. Crimson Leaves. Need to make a shit ton of Crimson Leaves. Oh, I thought that would do it. Oh, glass. No, that's my bad. I read grass. Let's try herbs. No. Yeah, my dyslexic brain misread that one. That's my bad. Would it be in this? Oh, no. Is it sacred? Lumber. Damn, I thought I had it. Okay, and let's be a little sensible game. Let's not go too crazy. I do want a shit ton of them, but let's be sensible. Oh, no, I don't want to go over. I've got to be wary of my resources everywhere. Oh, I don't want to use all of them. Do that. Sure. Alright, now let's just completely go insane with the Hades lunches that the game's so evilly, like, making me burn. 5? What else do I need? Hang on. Okay, we need more jack-o'-lanterns. Is that it? Is it just that we need a lot more jack-o'-lanterns? I think we do. Oh, no. I need that. And that's one too many. There we go. Screw it. That'll do. That'll do. That's the most we're gonna bother with. And it's still because we run out. Because the jack-o'-lanterns are so expensive. You need so many. Oh, and these are different from those ones. Good to know. I'm going to add them to favourites as well. And so we'll just go through that and then just work down through what's left. Hey, Camo. Alright, what you've missed, because we haven't done too much, we had one date with Hiyori, which was at the pool, which was at the night pool, this one, where Ao slipped and fell into the water, and it dazed her enough that that Hiyori panicked and thought she had lost consciousness and was maybe drowning. Hiyori dragged her out onto the side of the pool, realised Ao wasn't waking up, when in reality Ao had woke up. It was just that, you know, she was kind of embarrassed and a little shy and didn't know what to do next. So just kind of kept her eyes closed, but the longer she kept her eyes closed, the more she realised that she was just digging herself a bigger hole. Because eventually Hiyori's like, I need to give her CPR, I need to give her mouth to mouth, and I was like, oh fuck, I should probably open my eyes soon and be like, but if I open my eyes, she'll be like, how did you wake up? I didn't do anything. So eventually I was just like, and then eventually said, like, I can feel her breathing close to my mouth, it's about to happen, I need to get up. And so she just panicked, got up, and then went, Hiyori, I'm okay, sorry, I'm fine now. And we did Reina's side quest. We just finished the Ryza dungeon. The last area wasn't that big. We're just like trying to get everything for everything else. Because, you know, 20 goddamn Hades lunches. I need these, game. These are my healing items. Game. Game, why aren't you adding it to it? Is it because they're favorited? Hang on. Oh, it was because they were favorited. It wouldn't let me add them. Interesting. But I'm trying to max out this cauldron because ultimately I can replace it with something that can actually trigger dates. Because I'm 99% sure the cauldron has no ability whatsoever to trigger dates. I've yet to see anyone come towards this thing. Increased travel gimmicks. Okay, 20 star smashes? I don't think we have that. But that's just shortcut gimmicks, right? That's not opening up areas. If that's the case, then I'm just going to go swap it out. And if we get more star smashes later on, I'll worry about it. I just need to think what I want to put there. Storage. Oh, this counts as a large, never mind. I was like, oh, I'll just put that there, that's fine. No, then that counts as a large as well. I might have actually fainted if Hiyori did that. Yeah, knowing her. I still find it, crazy. Like, we joke about how much, like, Ao might actually, you know, like a character or whatnot. Like, we joke about, like, some of, like, the Yuri baiting this game has. But I really want to, like, specify and point out that in Uta's rank 6, when Uta takes hold of Ao's hand, Ao's first thought is, hang on a minute, we were talking about trying to figure out what love is last time we spoke. Has she found it? Hang on a minute, is she in love with me? And then she even goes, if that's the case, then I accept her. And then Uta just goes, oh, you have a cute face, and let's go with her hand. I was like, Ao liked Uta. Like, she admitted then and there, she was prepared to accept Uta's love if Uta had confessed at that point. But because she didn't, she just kind of went, and then let it go. Also, I think 2A is still locked for some reason. Even though we've got a full, like, squad of 12. Yeah, 2A is still locked for some reason. Yeah. Wait, what did I say? I thought recovering user in live's memories might make it open. Yeah, I think we all did, Ao. The fact that Ao has a new line of dialogue every time we check this door makes me think it's going to be important. I know this game's just got a lot of attention to detail, so it could easily just be that, but, you know. Well, let's go check what these secrets are in Ryza's DLC area, and then after that... Oh, I've just noticed. This has got bigger because we've seen more of it. Look, it's got each of the 3 areas that represent it. So let's see if everything I want opened up is finally opened up around here. So I can pick up the last of the memory fragments and a few recipes. And sorry if I sound a bit more tired today. I am tired. I stayed up way too late watching the Final Fantasy and then the Dragon's Dogma event. Because it was like 11 PM they both started. So I watched one, got super hyped, overanalyzed everything, then watched the other, got super hyped. I watched the Final Fantasy one first, hence why I had things to overanalyze. Because Crisis Core getting a full remaster is super dope. Even if I have problems with Crisis Core, Zack is a goddamn treat. And so I'm super excited for that. But then obviously the big one was that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 finally got in a teaser trailer. And we got a name so I don't have to keep on calling it Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Which everyone kind of gathered they wouldn't call it Remake Part 2. But it's nice to have the confirmation. Because there was like some people that were like, yeah, they're going to call it Rebirth or Reunion or something. And then there was a bunch of other people that were like, no, you're psychos. They wouldn't do something like that with the titling. And then lo and behold, they did that with the titling. So part 2 is called Rebirth, and they also confirmed that the 7 Remake is absolutely going to be exactly 3 parts. So part 2, being the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy, it's probably going to go all the way to Northern Crater. And not Northern Crater Final Dungeon, as in your first visit to Northern Crater. So that's after City of the Ancients. If you don't know what I'm talking about with Final Fantasy VII, don't worry. I'm basically saying it's going to cover all of the really dark, depressing shit. Because it's the part 2 of the saga. It's the part 2 of a trilogy. The best part 2s in any saga are things like what Empire Strikes Back did, where the characters are put at their lowest point. It's the most dramatic. It's the most like depressing to an extent. Oh, I don't want to fight you. You're like level 25. I just want to see what's secret over here. And Final Fantasy VII, the original, absolutely followed it in a 3-act structure, where Act 1 was super optimistic and fun, Act 2 was super depressing and drab, and Act 3 was kaiju monsters and fighting to the finish. Seeing the end of the journey, no matter what it may be, kind of thing. And that's what they're doing with this, where Part 1 was all the crazy adventure with Shinra, or taking down Shinra. Part 2 is going to be all the depressing shit, with characters being presumed dead, or characters actually getting killed off, because that's what happens in the original 7. And then when it's at their lowest point, they'll just end it. And then Part 3 will be the fighting giant 50-foot monsters, and saving the world, and stopping Meteorite, and dealing with Sephiroth. But then besides that, you know, Dragon's Dogma, also at the exact same time, with a video around the exact same length, also had their announcement, and they announced Dragon's Dogma 2. It's early-ish still in development, like it's already started development, and they said that they've made some progress, but they didn't have any footage to show, so it's still a while yet. They did the old-fashioned t-shirt announcement where Itsuno unzipped his hoodie and the t-shirt said Dragon's Dogma 2. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. But at the same time, it happens so goddamn often. Also, I'm looking at our health bars, they definitely expect you to do these fights after. Actually, can I put this back on my favourites? Thank you. After you've done the main fight, because look at how much these things are hurting us. And how tanky they are. I only just realised. Look how little this guy's health's moving. Oh shit, you're doing a charge up, okay. Oh, I also learned something pretty interesting about Owl's, this skill. It doesn't put on a timer on the shield, it just stays there for 1 hit. So if you're worried that you want to go overly aggressive in attacks and screw yourself over, get to this, use it, and then watch what it says underneath the combo counter. It'll just be a shield icon ×1. So now I don't have to worry. When another charge attack comes through, it doesn't matter where Owl's setup is. She will be fine. So like now this one's coming in. It doesn't matter. I can carry on doing what I'm doing. Because this is just going to hit that shield anyway. What one am I feeling? I'll do the Meteorite Storm. Oh yeah, I remember that with GTA 4, the GTA tattoo. That was the craziest goddamn, like, what are you, insane? kind of reveal. I remember that, actually. I was youngish, I wasn't that old, but I remember them doing that. But yeah, the t-shirt reveal feels so common that it is a little disappointing when it shows up, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, okay. Because like, you want to see something, don't you? Not just a t-shirt, it's just a logo reveal. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 is... We already knew it, but it is absolutely Itsuno's next project, and he's working on it. And if I had to hazard a guess with how busy Capcom's schedule is for the start of next year, because keep in mind they've got Street Fighter 6 and Resi 4 remake. That's like a 1-2 punch at the start of next year, and that's ignoring the 8 expansion that we've got at the end of this year. That's ignoring Monster Hunter, which like comes out in like a week or two. I imagine it will be after all of them are out before we hear anything again about DD2. Like, I imagine it'll be like, we're talking like next E3, I think. It'll be like next June, I think, before we hear more on DD2. And then that will be when we get the proper trailer and like the proper showcase of it, and then be told it'll come out at the end of that year, if not early the year after. Speaking of, next year's going to be insane for Final Fantasy. 16 in the summer, 7 remake in the winter. Because they confirmed they're aiming for winter next year. So that could be the winter the season. Grand Bomb, holy shit. That could be anything from anywhere from like November to like the following February, potentially, depending on how they want to treat it. So like potentially that could drop in December, and we could have 2 major league AAA quality Final Fantasy games in the same year. I can't think of any other time in Final Fantasy's lifespan where that's happened. There might have been like a spin-off or 2 that's dropped alongside it, but never mainline Final Fantasies 2 in 1 year. That's bonkers. If they do that and they actually nail it in both accounts, that would be a phenomenal step in Square Enix's direction for their Japanese branch. And to kick up the arse they need after all this mumbo-jumbo bullshit with the cryptos. Anyway, who's this, Tao? My name is Patricia Alberheim, but you can call me Patty. I'm very pleased to meet you. Okay, Patty, I'm Ryza Stout, but you can call me Ryza. I always forget that Ryza's name is Razorlin, and it's just Ryza's a nickname. I always forget. Right, that seems to be everything here, so let's go warp to area 2. And then once we've checked these out, we'll finally go into Owl's Heartscape and see what we're getting ourselves in for. Never played Final Fantasy, always wanted to, but the amount of tiles overwhelms me and I never know which to get. Okay, the biggest thing to know is Final Fantasy 1 through 9 all follow a classic formula. And so you could theoretically jump in with any of them because they all have a similar spine, if that makes sense. Like they have different things on top of it. Like Final Fantasy 6 has an Esper system where you get your magic by equipping like summon monsters onto your character, and it's like you inherit their magic into you. While 7 has like Materia and the limit break system, where like Materias you find these orbs and you equip them to your weapons, but each weapon have a different amount of slots, so you can only have so many equipment slots. So it's like you might find a sword that's like stupendously strong but has like 1 slot, so you might only be able to put like fire magic on it or something, and then you can use fire magic but that's it. Or like an armor plate that's like gives you like no defense but has like 8 slots on it, so you can go crazy with magic but good luck with your defense. Whilst limit breaks is the more you get beat up, the more it fills up a bar. When the bar fills up to max, you can then unleash like an ultimate attack. So it's literally based on taking punishment, like a panic punishment system, or not a panic, like a I think it was called. It's in fighting game terminology. I'm trying to think of like the comeback mechanic. That's what it is. But then 8 has the whole your stats are based on your magic, so you have to keep on like draining magic from enemies. Like, but the same structure of you have a set amount of characters, there is a timetable that you follow, and then you take your turn when the time bar fills up for you. You then take your action and it happens. It's the same spine. Starting with 10, every single Final Fantasy that came after became a ginormous experiment. For better or worse. And the thing is, I love it because I never know what to expect in the next Final Fantasy. And I think there's an excitement to that as someone who's been with the franchise since Final Fantasy 4 to have that. But I also get that looking at it now, it's like 16's coming out, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 is coming out. That can be, in of itself, kind of overwhelming. Personally, I'd say Final Fantasy... The pixel remasters on Steam of 1 through 6 are a phenomenal starting place, because I started with 4. However, once you get your feet wet, even if it looks ugly as shit, unfortunately nowadays, play through the original, like in Burst and Ultimate Maximum Up. Yeah, exactly. Go through the original Final Fantasy 7. Because the big thing with 7 Remake, and you don't know anything about it, so I feel like if I just threw you at Remake, although you would enjoy Remake, I think there's a glimmer of it you'd miss. The big plot twist of Remake is that the Remake is a lie. It's not a remake, it's a direct sequel to the original 7. It's just disguised as a remake, and it's like the cleverest fucking shit in gaming. That's 15, the road trip one, the boys road trip. 15 is great, it's clunky, but it's one of those you enjoy it too much that you don't care that it's clunky kind of games. But the problem is that that game went through 10 years of development hell, and you can kind of feel it when you go through it. And I'm not even kidding, it started development in 2006, didn't come out until 2016. It literally has like one of the most infamously brutal stories of development hell of any series. The end result's good and really enjoyable, in my opinion, especially because as after the game came out, they gave it a lot of quality of life updates and like cleaned up some of it and, you know, changed a few things and expanded on the final dungeon, because in the original game it was a straight shot to the final boss. There was like barely any enemies, it was kind of a joke. Whilst now it's like a full final zone with like a proper exploration side of it with, you know, little side quests you can do and optional bosses and whatnot. But yeah, when it first came out, it was kind of in a troubled state and it took a while to get there. What was also kind of depressing is that it was going to get a season of DLC, and it got the first part of I think 4 episodes it was going to be, and then the director left the company and the rest got cancelled. So like the Arden DLC, you play it and there's like it wraps up itself nicely enough, but there is a little bit of like a loose end to it that doesn't get like completely finalized, and you're never going to see it because they wrapped up development entirely. The developer left the company. But it's like, I'm biased, but I think the only ones that I think are difficult to approach and I personally wouldn't recommend, and I'll explain why, but let me at least list them off, is 2, 8, and 13.1. And there's a reason why I said 13.1, but I'll get to that. 2, because its experience system is extremely grindy. It's the grindiest Final Fantasy in the series, and it takes forever to get through because of it. And I just think, if that was like your starting gate, or you're still trying to feel out Final Fantasy and learn it and whatnot, that one would kind of deter you because of how insanely grindy it actually is. Like, there's no... Like, you can literally do like a 4 or 5 hour grind session, and it's just barely enough to get you through the next dungeon kind of grind fest. It's insane. 8, because I say that I do like 8, and the lead voice actor, Ray Chase, for Noctis, the dude who voices the protagonist of 15, it's actually his favourite Final Fantasy. However, it is equally a very grindy Final Fantasy, and its story, instead of being more of like not mature because they're kind of kooky and crazy, Final Fantasy 8 follows a bunch of high school teenagers. And it's like the only Final Fantasy game to do that. All the rest follow adults, but 8, wanting to see if it could attract a different demographic, you play as teenagers, and it's a good story, and I like what it does. The plot twist at the end's kind of insane, and kind of like, how'd you pull this one out of your ass? But whatever, game. But it's still good. It's just, like I said, it's another super grind fest, and the way they handle the characters in that isn't representative of the rest of the franchise. And 13.1, because the game's like 40 hours long, and it takes 30 hours to get going, and that's a hell of a lot to ask for anyone, especially if you're starting. In fact, 13's actually the most despised Final Fantasy of the lot because of that. A lot of people absolutely despise 13 because it feels like nothing happens for 30 hours of like a 40 to 50 hour game. All of the fun of the game is in the last act and the post game, and you can't ask a casual fan to do that. But the reason why I said 13.1 is because some Final Fantasies do have direct sequels. Every single numbered Final Fantasy is its own story, and its own world, and its own characters. So 4, when you're following the adventures of Cecil Harvey against the Empire, is different from Final Fantasy 6, where you play as Terra and you're against Kefka, the Mad Clown, or 7, where you're Cloud and his squad trying to stop Shinra whilst dealing with the almighty, legendary first-class soldier Sephiroth, or 8, where you're trying to you put on an assassination mission to hunt down the witch sorcerer, or 9, where it's like a battle between brothers. Like, each Final Fantasy is its own cast of characters with its own narrative and its own thing going for it. But because of that, some of them, not straight away, but some of them the devs eventually came back to, because they loved those characters and stories and wanted to do more with them. So we got Final Fantasy IV: The After Years, which is literally a direct follow-up to the Final Fantasy IV's story and what came next, which is alright. It's not, at least in my opinion, it's alright, but you can tell it was a mobile game first, and then it was I think it was a mobile game, and it was a Wii Shop demo game, which came out in episodes first. And so when you play it in the complete collection, you can kind of feel it's episodic. Also, I'm getting fucked here because I'm not really focusing. Well, we've lost our combo a bunch of times. I'm not focusing at all. I need you to, save Coco bad. But I still enjoy it, but then I'm also biased because Final Fantasy IV is my first Final Fantasy. So I follow up to that story, of course I'm going to like it anyway, even if it has problems. Final Fantasy VII is the best-selling Final Fantasy in the entire franchise, not just because it's a phenomenal game, but because it straight up reinvented the wheel of JRPGs. Absolutely, and I mean this completely, every single turn-based JRPG that has come out after Final Fantasy VII has taken inspiration from Final Fantasy VII. That includes the game we are playing right now. It reinvented the entire wheel of RPGs that every single turn-based RPG therefore has followed. And so the fact that that got expanded upon, of course it did. But the expanded universe of 7, outside of Crisis Core, which is, in my opinion, the only good one, and I think it's a good reason why that's the only one getting remastered, most of them are kind of just either okay or painful. Advent Children, the film, is okay, but you only enjoy it if you understand what the fuck it's talking about. If it's your first introduction to 7's world, it's so goddamn confusing, and you reach the end of it going, what was that about? And I'm not kidding, it's insanely confusing and all over the place. But if you do, then you can understand some of it, and even then, it's like, it was alright. Oh, that's a shame, Shio. Stun gun it. But then, before Crisis was a mobile game, and it's I haven't played it myself, but I heard it was alright. Crisis Core is a straight-up prequel to the original story, which is insanely fun, even if it has one of the most annoying characters in Final Fantasy's franchise, in the form of Genesis. Genesis sucks. That's all you need to know. Genesis is a god-awful character. But it's fine, because Zack, the main character of that game, is a goddamn treat to the entire franchise. He's one of the most enjoyable and endearing protagonists Square's ever made, so it's kind of fitting that they have the most annoying and most endearing character in the same game. But Zack is so fun. Zack also has some of my favourite lines in any game. He has some of my favourite lines in any game, because he sees Crisis Core's plot for as insane as it is, if that makes sense. There's a point where where Zack and Angeal are talking, and Angeal's kind of the main villain for a part of it. And Zack goes, Angeal, what are you even after? And Angeal goes, world domination. And how does Zack respond without a hesitation? That's not even funny, man. Just like, Zack, shut up. Oh, damn, I should have gone for my ult. I just got cocky there. Oh, well. And every time I hear that, I just go, shut up, Zack. Where it's hey Cloud, where is it where you've come from? Oh, I'm from Nibelheim. What about you? Me? Gongaga. You're like, what? Zack, where'd that come out from? Because he comes from Gongaga. It's a really kooky game. Or like when Zack finally starts losing it at the end of the story. I know I'm spoiling it a little bit, and it's like he starts getting talked to by, I think it's Genesis that talks to him, and starts like explaining all this like anime bullshit about how the plot's going and what things are happening and what he needs to prepare for. And eventually he goes, aren't you prepared to accept your fate? And Zack just goes, shut up, will ya? Shut up, just shut up. And it's just like, okay. Like, Zack's really charming for like the wrong reasons. He's But then after that was Dirge of Cerberus, and Dirge of Cerberus is a goddamn plague. It's a just take it for what it is for a second. It's a over-the-shoulder shooter in Final Fantasy's universe, and it is so weird. It is so weird. It's not good. But then 8, 9, and 10 are normal. But after 10, they did the all-girls Final Fantasy, which is Final Fantasy X Part 2 or 10-2. Where there's only 3 main playable characters and they're all women, so it was like it had like a girls' day out kind of feel to it, vaguely similar to 15's Boys Road Trip. And then 11 was the MMO. I think it's still available on mobile, but it's no longer like the main priority because obviously 14 exists. 12 is the first real effort to make like an open field, where it was like open zones and like a more traditional fantasy narrative, as opposed to some of the like the more anime bullshit or like the modern fantasy that 7, 8 and 8 had. 13 is entirely sci-fi fantasy. 13-2 is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. Is it Final Fantasy All Swords? Not always. Squall in 8 has a gunblade. Vincent has a rifle in 7. There's a character that has a pistol in 6. Like, they've had ranged weapons that are, like, more modern for a while. 6, 7, and 8 are all contemporary fantasy and not traditional fantasy. As in, like, they've got modern-esque aesthetics. Like, 6 has a very, like, just Industrial Revolution vibe to it. 7 has mega corporations and cities and, like, industrial mega structures here, there, and everywhere. 8 has a flying school, for fuck's sake. Squall and Co live in a flying school, and like I said, he has a gunblade. It's literally a sword with a revolver handle on it, and they even have a gimmick with it where if you press the trigger just as the sword strike hits, Squall will pull the trigger as it strikes, so you'll shoot the enemy and it'll like spark your sword just as you swing, so you get more damage out of it. Like, guns and ranged weaponry have been a thing in the franchise for a while. Like I said, the only ones that are like traditional fantasy is technically 1 and 3. They're super traditional fantasy. 2, 4, 5, and 9 are sort of traditional fantasy but have modern elements in it. 6, 7, 8 are all contemporary, as in the 13 trilogy is sci-fi fantasy, and I mean super sci-fi. There should be an FF beat 'em up or something like Stone of Scramble. Yeah, there should. There should also be a Final Fantasy 2D fighter, because Dissidia is not a good fighting game in my opinion. The PSP one was alright, but the one on PS4 is so boring. It's so like, okay. It's like, it needs a 2D fighter. It's the same with like how I really want there to be a Data Life 2D fighter or a Neptunia 2D fighter. There's a lot of franchises that I think would do amazing with a 2D fighter. And I mean, look at Persona when they got a 2D fighter. It's phenomenal. People love it. Just, you know, go crazy. Let's go crazy. Let's do that. But that's technically Dissidia. Dissidia has a 3D 3-on-3 fighter, where it's literally like 6 players online, 3 versus 3 teams fighting together. And it's alright, it's just there's so little to each character, it feels like, that I kind of just got bored really quickly with it. Which is a shame, because the PSP one that was a 1v1 had more mechanics. Yeah, just give Ark the rights to everything, yeah. Heck, make a Blue Reflection fighting game. It could happen. It's unlikely, it's very unlikely, but Gust have ties to Idea Factory. Idea Factory have ties to the team that makes Senran Kagura, I forget their name, and Senran Kagura had a character guest star in an Arc System fighter. So it's all a possibility. The possibility is insanely low, but it's not 0. You know? It's highly unlikely, but the whole time it's not 0, there's something to hold on to, you know? But, and then 15 went back to modern fantasy with some sci-fi elements, but it kept it kind of contemporary, sort of like 6, 7, and 8. While 16 is going straight Final Fantasy 1 medieval fantasy. which I'm super excited for it. If that happens, I'm maining Uta. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just like put my controller down if she ever goes against Al, because, you know, I think she'd prefer that. They could give Uta a gimmick where she gets stronger the closer she is to death because she enjoys pain anyway, or like maybe she gets new skills and gets slightly crazier when she's near death. Because then they could incorporate both her personalities. They could make her at the start of the fight have her personality the way we know her in this game, and then her transition into a sadistic personality when she's on low health. Anyway, of course I won't stand in your way, Miss Patricia, but I can't open this gate. Huh? Why not? It's been abandoned and forgotten for so long, it's completely rusted shut. Wait, it's just rust, right? Why don't we just remove the rust and oil up the hinges? Like Lucario's aura from Smash? Yeah. That's exactly it. But yeah, so 16... Oh, no, I completely skipped 14, sorry. 14 is the current MMO, and even if you've never heard of Final Fantasy, I can almost guarantee you've heard of 14, because it stands as the most successful MMO on the market, even more so than World of Warcraft ever was. It's the most successful MMO on the market, and the reason why is because the developer to customer communication is god tier. Yoshi P and his team never stopped talking to the community and bouncing off ideas and working on things and then baffling us with like amazing stories and characters with each expansion. I'd say starting with Heavensward, the game radically transformed into a masterpiece, and that was the first expansion, for goodness sake. Since then, we've had Stormblood, we've had Shadowbringer, my personal favourite, and we recently got Endwalker, which I still need to do, to be fair. I haven't actually sat down to do Endwalker, and every time I talk to someone about it, they just go, "Why haven't you?" I'm like, "I'll do it eventually, I need time." And Endwalker's not even going to be it. It's just Endwalker's the end of the current narrative. They've established that the next expansion is going to start a new story. And so it will continue. There will be more and more and more as time goes on, which is super exciting in and of itself. But Yoshi P and team is also the exact same team working on 16, which is why everyone is so hyped for 16, because 14 is considered one of the greatest video games ever made, for goodness sake. Damn it, we do need to open this shortcut, so we need whatever that grand ball thing, whatever it was, to get that recipe. And so with 14's Herald is one of the greatest, easily the greatest MMO ever made and loved by everyone. Of course, being told it's the same team working on 16, people are going to be like they're ready for it, you know? Oh, you can rematch this boss? I didn't want to rematch it now. Oh, okay, I didn't realize its view box was that wide. Oh god, can I run away? Because this guy has 56,000 HP and it took 3 Resonance Blades to kill him last time. Hang on. No, it's a boss fight. We can't run away. God damn it. Oh, well, we're in for the long haul now. Didn't mean to run into this. I just wanted to go check out the shortcuts. We're doing this again. I'm just wasting time at this point. God damn it. My bad. And 7 Remake, as I said, the fact it's called a remake is a cheeky lie. It's a complete modern retelling using, you know, modern visuals and a modern gameplay. Like, it's more of an action RPG with some JRPG elements sprinkled in. It covers the entire first act of the original game's story. However, there's a ghostly thing called the Whispers of Fate that are doing everything in their power to make sure that the story follows the original game's narrative, you know, a complete recreation of it, to the T. And the remake gets broken off at the very last chapter, where you go and fight the Whispers of Fate and kill them, thus severing the possibility of it being a straight remake. Meaning, Part 2 onwards have the possibility to completely change the events of the game. And it's deliberate because Sephiroth is not actually the Sephiroth you fought in the original 7. He's a Sephiroth from the future who understands and knows fully well that he's destined to lose. So has come back to the past to fuck with history to make sure he wins. And you all accidentally feed into it by defeating the one thing that was making sure that he would lose. The Fate. And so Part 2 onwards, it's now open. More bad things can happen because all the things that was holding Sephiroth back don't exist. So now the fate is different. The story of 15 can be different, and I love that. So no one actually knows what to expect going on with part 2, which is why I had been theorizing from the start that it wouldn't be called Part 2. I was like, I don't think they're going to call it Remake Part 2, because it's not a remake anymore. It's not a, here's the same game again anymore. It's a full, complete, reinvention of the story. And I was right, because they announced not Remake Part 2, but instead Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And the big key word of the franchise, of Final Fantasy VII and its existence, is the reunion. Is it new canon or is it original still canon? Everything is still canon with 7. It's going to sound confusing. Essentially, so the original 7 happens, Advent Children, the follow-up film, happens. So many years in the future, Sephiroth comes back to life again, because the reason why Sephiroth never dies is because his DNA is woven into the planet's DNA through Genova cells. And Genova cells exist in all living things because Genova is just this disease that never ends. It's like if a villain, to give a modern comparison, a villain will continue to exist as long as COVID still exists. You're never gonna fucking kill them. You know? You're never gonna truly kill them. So Sephi can keep on coming back. Somehow. It's just whether or not he chooses to and how he handles it. But then at some point after Advent Children, he comes back again, and somehow for means we don't understand yet, he gets the ability to go back through time and sever the connection to the canon. And so, like, it does still happen. It's just the original has to happen for Advent Children to happen, for Sephiroth to learn he's always destined to lose, to then backtrack to alter things in a new timeline. So instead of thinking of it as canon, think of it as a new timeline. Instead. Because there's technically 3 different timelines going on at once in the remake. Technically. Because when we fuck with, and this is major spoilers for it at this point, but when we fuck with, the Whispers of Fate at the end of the game, we do it at an area called a singularity. And a singularity in sci-fi is a point where all time converges. So the past, present, and future. By fucking with the Whispers of Fate and killing them, we also alter the past. And a character that is destined to die in the past and is dead in their timeline survives the thing they're supposed to die from in a different timeline after we do that thing with the Fates. Introducing a completely different timeline that will be going on at the exact same time as the one we will be experiencing in the next part. And the reason why it has to be a separate timeline is because if that character lived, the entirety of 7's plot wouldn't make any sense. But if it's a separate timeline and there's something going on... no. I said every single Final Fantasy has its own universe, own set of characters, own everything. That's why you can jump in with literally any Final Fantasy you want. If it's a numbered entry, it's a new story with new characters. Sephiroth is only the big bad of 7. It just so happens that he's the most infamous big bad in all of gaming. Next to, like, Bowser and Eggman, you know? He's the original silver-haired, katana-wielding bad guy. And I'm not even kidding. Like, he's the OG. He's the reason why all the ones that came after exist. I remember, like, when he got announced for Super Smash Bros. And people were complaining, it's like, oh, another anime katana wielder. It's like, no, you don't understand. He's the inventor of that trope. He's the one that started that. But no, he's only the big bad of 7. It's a different big bad in each game. Like, it's Chaos in 1, the Emperor in 2, Cloud of Darkness in 3, Zemus in 4, X-Death in 5. Trust, you'll get that joke if you ever play 5, why I made that. He's like, all the time, it's so annoying. Kefka in 6, the Mad Clown, Sephiroth in 7, Ultimisia in 8, Kuja in 9, technically Seymour, technically Jekt, technically The Sin in 10. It's a mixed thing. I forget what his name is in 10-2. I haven't played 10-2 in forever. Not Darth Vader in 12. I mean Judge Gabranth in 12. Which literally is a big dude in a big black suit who's like related to one of the members of the party, and it's a big twist. He's related to the party. Like, it's literally Darth Vader twist all over again. Orphan in 13. Caius, voiced by Liam O'Brien in 13-2. And I forget its name. It's God, basically, in 13-3. Or 13 LR. Everyone's low on health. Oh, I can't swap to this? Interesting. I'll use one. And then Arden Irizuna for 15. And we don't know the villain for 16 yet. Hasn't been shown at all. We have our theories, but we have no idea. But it's a new cast, new world, new everything. The appeal of Final Fantasy and the reason why it's gone on for the test of time is that every single game reinvents its own wheel. Especially starting with 10. Like I said, they straight up start jumping genres after 10. Final Fantasy became extremely experimental. And for some people, Final Fantasy's never been the same since. Some people completely, after, like, they'll play 10 because 10's still a JRPG, even if it does things different. But that's it. After that, they don't want to hear it. They don't care for 12. They certainly don't care for 13. They avoid 15. They don't care for the rest of it. Whilst me, like, I genuinely like the last act of 13-1. I'm not stupid enough to be like, oh, it's great, you should play it, because I understand that it takes most of the game to get to the point where it's enjoyable. And the only people that are going to bother with that are people who, you know, are prepared to commit to any Final Fantasy game. You know, people that are already in for the long haul of the franchise one way or another. Those kind of fans. But yeah, Sephiroth's just the most infamous, and arguably the best written. But even then, in 7, he's not the only villain. There's a lot more going on than just that. Because Sephiroth is just trying to fulfill the wish of his mother. He's trying to fulfill the wish of Jenova. And Jenova's a straight up goddamn alien. But at the same time, Jenova only got to the state it was because Jenova was heavily experimented on by a freak scientist known as Hojo. And so Hojo is a huge part of it as well. As is Jenova. Like, all three of them are villains to an extent. Also, did that say miss 3 times when I hit it? That's kind of shit. Oh, also, I've got more context on what Ao actually says in this resonance. When Shio shows up and says it, Ao says something along the lines of, oh, now I'll never be a bride. And then she swings. And in Hiyori's, where they summon the pack of wolves, what Hiyori says, apparently, is Hiyori goes, oh, we should do that again. We should get some... I love those dogs. And then Ao goes, I'm pretty sure they're wolves. Yeah, that all missed, I think. Damn, that sucks. And I said, the other giveaway that Sephiroth's the most famous super boss is that, the most famous, like, villain is how many times he's shown up as a super boss in other goddamn games. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 is the classic example. He was like the end game super boss of both those games in the original launch. And it was only in, like, the re-releases that came later that they added more super bosses, so Sephiroth technically got demoted a little, but he's still, you know, present. Oh, it's okay, I've already got a shield up. But then if you enjoy 7, dive straight into 7 Remake. I said you can start with 7 Remake. It's on PS4, PS5, Epic Game Store, and it literally today comes out on Steam. So there is options to be able to play it and enjoy it. And you still really will enjoy it. It's just the whole, they changed the narrative of the plot. At least to me, the impact that it carries won't be as significant because you haven't seen the original story to know what it's even talking about. But it was still designed to be a very approachable new Final Fantasy, so you still absolutely can start with Remake. Because as much as I'd say start with 15, 15's... Like, 15 is super fun, but some of 15's mechanics and systems end up slightly working against itself because the game is piss easy as a result. Because you can use items to heal yourself at literally any point. Like, unchallenged. You can just do it whenever you want. Oh, you bitch! I was trying to store that up. I was trying to charge up the 5,000 and it got knocked down at the last second. Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Fine, we'll do another Shio and hope it doesn't miss this time. Or I could just use her Ether Tide for the record. I could just do this. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, nice upskirt. Thanks, game. So I didn't mean to kind of go on with Final Fantasy. I was just, can you tell I grew up with it, and it's like it's an extremely prominent franchise in my childhood, and and even if it had its missteps over the years, I still like really hold it near and dear to my heart. But yeah, all the Pixel remasters of 1 through 6 are on Steam. 7 is like literally ported to everything, as is 8 and 9. 10 has a full HD remaster alongside 10.2. 12 has a HD remaster that includes Japanese exclusive content originally, so it's like the best version to get it. We're still waiting on the 13 trilogy to get remastered, but who knows if that will ever happen, because the 13 trilogy did really well and was loved in Japan, but did really poorly and was despised in the West because of how much more linear and controlled they were. And so that's always been a big turning point for people. And it's like, will it? Because, you know, the us Westerners kind of weren't happy and didn't just, you know, take our licks the way that the Japanese side kind of did. Right, let me stock up, and then we'll finally, after a lot of accidental time wasting, oh, I can't even make one more. Oh well, let's just go from that. We will finally go into Owl's Heartscape and see what's in store for us. Actually, can I make more? I can make a lot more rattan baskets. Sure, the last resorts. So please tell me I have a lot of something that I can burn, so I'm not just burning all these cool resources. There we go. Then I'll add these to my favourites as well. Items. I don't know why I scrolled all the way down looking for it. There. Oh, and the other thing, because Final Fantasy VII was like the best-selling, absolute like innovator of the franchise, the first 7 Final Fantasies have a slightly campier vibe to them. Like it's a lot more like, yeah, let's go save the world kind of feel to it. While starting with Final Fantasy VIII, it got a lot more serious and a lot more grounded. To give a more modern example, the Tales of series, and how like Tales of Arise is super serious and more modern and mature compared to the other ones that definitely had their mature moments but had a lot more campiness to them as well. Right. Owl's Heartscape. Who knows what it is? This says there's no items and no enemies, so it might just be cutscenes, but let's just see what we're in for. Oh shit, it's the opening. Where she dropped her phone. Oh shit, are we gonna finally learn what happened when she dropped her phone? So this is Owl's Heartscape. It's so peaceful, it's almost anticlimactic. My Heartscape. There's nothing special about it. The music's creepy as fuck. It's just a town I lived in. A regular old town that you'd find anywhere. Oh, that startled me. Ow, your phone is ringing. I wonder why it would start ringing now. What? There's no message. There's no new message. What did it say? That's just it. It didn't say anything. Then you got an alert, but not a message? Maybe it was a wrong number? Oh, now what? Oh, it's so bright. What is this? Huh? Nothing happened. No, look over there. What's that? What? Something appeared? The heck is that? It's like a big hunk of gears. And he wasn't there before, right? Think. Huh. You mean it just suddenly appeared? Ow. What's the meaning of this? I have no idea. I've never seen anything like this. Why would something someone's never seen appear in their heartscape? What does it mean? That's... Maybe if we walk around we'll find some clues. Good idea. What's this feeling in my chest? Fear, probably. There's no enemies here. Wait, listen to the music. I know the sound effects with all the creatures and whatnot's kind of overriding it, but it's very... Welcome back, Yuzu, Lime. These aren't her memories. Oh no, these were just recently. What's with this? Ow. 5? Where was 1 through 4? That was us just now, right? Seems that way. Must be memories from Oasis. These are without a doubt Hoshizaki's memories, but they're awfully recent. Ah, I was ready to see a memory of that big thing. It was a little underwhelming, but wait. The Heartscape is made of important memories, right? That must mean she considers us important to her. Hey, this is so embarrassing. Walking through your Heartscape usually is, Al. It's like, yeah, he might have dodged it all the way here. Maybe the gears, which are a common image the clock, implies Al's running out of time somehow. Maybe. And the feeling in her heart might be that, you know, things, it's not just her anxiety of the future, it's that things aren't as they seem. You know what else is kind of worrying? These kid statue things, that the game's now highlighting, they're going to cross the road. What if she was hit by a car or something, or hit by a truck? Because like I said, her memory is that she leaned over to pick up her phone, and it was like she dropped it on like the side of the road. There's a lot that could be going on with Al. And it's like we can't put anything out of the ordinary, because like, you mean Yuki. You know, Yuki's plot twists and characters kind of out there. So we can't, so anything's on the table. Oh, these things are so cute. I still think Al was some kind of science experiment. That like she was kidnapped in some lab somewhere and was disconnected from all things consciousness, and that's why she has no memory of anything. Well, of the ash. I want to take them both back with us. Right? Wouldn't it be fun to line up a bunch of them in a row? Also, hang on, sorry, take a step back. It just crossed my mind. What are you all doing here? What's all the support crew here? I don't. Right? Wouldn't it be fun to line a bunch of them up in a row? We could put them on the stage in the gym. They look like they'd move around in the middle of the night. Ooh, and we'd find them in a different place each morning. Now that you mention it, the girl's face is a bit unnerving. It has such soulless eyes. I mean, it's nice to have the whole squad go together, but it'd still be like, hang on a minute. This, to me, is... I don't think there is going to be any enemies here. I think this entire dungeon, or the Heartscape, is going to be nothing but plot. I think it's going to be just cutscenes after cutscenes. Oh, shit. I think we're going to learn what this means, finally. I think we're going to finally learn what this means. It's been a while since I've seen a convenience store. Something that used to be so common now feels so strange. I really want to go inside and buy all sorts of snacks. And Uta would go with Al. Yeah, so I said, and like when this was first introduced, Al had the biggest doubt. Uta, sorry, had the biggest doubts about Hal's art skates than anyone else. And so I think she was always going to come with because she has doubts. It's like buy all sorts of snacks. Especially ice cream. Eating ice cream on the way home from class was the best. Aw, we can't get in. Well, this is the hardscape. Let's all go to a convenience store together once we save the world. So, going to a convenience store is our ultimate objective. That kind of silly objective sounds just like us. Can't argue with that. I was going to be 6 here. Where's 1 through 4? That was the start of the game. That took me a minute for my brain to click it. That was at the very start. Maybe Al was reborn like Yuki. Maybe she's a puppet for someone. Maybe. I remember this place. What is it, Al? I lost my phone once. This is where I picked it up. You ended up here in Oasis after picking it up, right? Yeah, but I don't know exactly when I changed worlds. I walked into the school as always, and Kokoro was there. When I went outside, I was in Oasis. Oh yeah, right, she picked up her phone, continued walking to school, and when she walked into her school, she didn't realise it was different. Until she saw Coco, and was like, where's everyone else? And then when she poked her head back outside, that's when she realised she was actually in Oasis. Did anything seem different? Something different? There was a strange message on my phone. At first I thought whoever was messing with me was the one who brought me here. Could someone have summoned you here? I wonder if that thing in the sky had anything to do with my phone at the time. Oh, there's an optional memory over here. Seriously, you can't keep lazing around at home all day. It's your summer break, don't you think you should go out and do something? Oh, is this her home? Is this her bedroom? Hey, Al. It's your summer break. Don't you think you should go out and do something? Seriously, you can't keep lazing around at home every day. Are roads really this wide? It may look wider than it is since it's just us here. Plus there are no cars on it. So no one would get mad if we played tag here? No one would get mad, but I certainly don't have the energy to play kids games. Okay, Grandma. Who are you calling Grandma? I'm not old, you're just acting like a child. You look quite comfortable, Al. It'd be a little embarrassing to see myself being lazy like that. What a day for today, I'm tired. I want to like run around like little corners and whatnot, so I think this is actually the parking lot in question. I want to see if we got twig random scenes by running down things. Like, who are these people? Do you think they're like some of the developers? Yes, they're the best. There's not the best circumstances, but I'm glad I can meet you all again and talk like this. Alright, let's push up. Oh, okay, 4. We're working backwards. That was everyone. Oh, no, that was when we... There was Uta in there as well. I think that was when we kind of pulled... When Al kind of pulled Uta into the group. Wow, it's me! I feel like I've seen this before. I kind of remember talking about something like that. They must be memories of a past conversation. We had a lot of fun, looking back. We've been through a lot. Not that we're out of the fire yet. That structure doesn't seem to have anything to do with it, but I'm getting a warm feeling. Why are all my memories like this? Is it hot in here? Let's move on, shall we? Because all of her memories are of her friends she's made. Her most important and precious memories are the friends she's made here. Hello, is anyone there? It might actually be scarier. I wish Dad were me. Oops, did I say that out loud? Oh my god, there's so many. I wish I had something that I could be proud of. If I had that, just one thing Two. Oh, okay, we're getting him. We've got a smorgasbord. Oh, back in the bedroom. What's this? Oh, a news report about a girl who won some world championship. Looks like she's around my age. I wish that was me. Oh, did I say it out loud? I don't even know why I said that. I don't mean to sound so spoiled. I'm sure those kinds of people work really hard. Unlike me, I don't have a right to be jealous. Still, I wish I had something that I could be proud of. If I had that, just one thing, No, I still sound like a spoiled brat. Yeah. Common theme you seem to come back to. Al genuinely despises how just plain normal she is. It rides on her constantly. I'm so nervous about what we're going to learn in this artificial clock tower, whatever the fuck that is. I'm so nervous we're going to go in there and learn something I'm really going to wish we didn't. Here it is, the final barrier between student safety and certain doom. What barrier? The barrier that decides whether or not you're late for class. Oh, I get it now. Cross it in time and you'll be safe, but if you cannot pass, you are doomed for lateless. Al acts a lot different in the flashbacks. Well, she found, like, the reason why a lot of her most prominent memories are of her and the friends here is because she discovered herself here. Making these friends in the Oasis and on the Heartscapes. She made memories because she felt like she was someone here. But before this, she was just a normal girl, and I think that really annoyed her. That there was nothing unique, there was no chase to stardom. And I get it, everyone feels that. Everyone feels like you could do more at some point. But it really weighed on her that she felt like she was just so painfully average and there was nothing unique about her. And it has crept up from time to time throughout the course of this game as well. Where, like, you can see, like, she doubts herself because she thinks, like, when there's a chance for her to be unique, she dives at it and then regrets it because she feels like maybe she's not worthy. Learning how to get through this fearsome barrier is what granted me the strength I have today. Maybe you should have learned to leave your house on time. Let's run back here to see if there's an optional scene down here as well. Oh, let me go on that. That looks like a super fun slide. Come on. That doesn't seem like there's anything else down here. Where do we go after this memory? I mean, just I presume straight up, but I don't see any... Maybe that way. Oh, God. If there's anything even more unnerving, it's the fact that the direction towards the clock has a bunch of stop signs. Why? Why doesn't it want us to go there? That's kind of creepy. And look, they're just floating in the air, some of them. Jesus. These are memories from your world, Al. They're memories of this one. These aren't memories from your world, they're memories of this one. Even I'm in them, which means they're extremely recent. Yeah, I think I remember having that conversation. What's on your mind, Lime? It's just, memories are almost always things from further in the past. People usually forget the trivial things, right? The ones you don't forget are the truly important memories. There's two implications. The first implication is that the only significant memories in her life are the ones that have happened here. The other one is that, you know, only things have happened with her in here. Maybe there's far less about her own existence she's even aware of from the real world. Maybe a lot of shit was going on that she doesn't remember. And these are the only memories she has, because her normal life didn't really exist the way she thinks she did. Who knows? What are you trying to say? I'm saying these are new memories, but they're in your heartscape. Which means you consider even these small day-to-day memories very important. Okay, there's no need to over-explain it. She's just like Yuki. Yeah, because Yuki's heartscape had recent stuff in it. Okay, we're not going that direction yet, thank God. Is this her house? Ao's heartscape feels like a real place. Everyone else's heartscapes had many strange and impossible structures, but this one is quite normal. If it wasn't for that thing floating in the sky, I'd think we were back in the real world. It almost feels like someone would answer the door if we rang one of the bells. Ding dong! Hey! She wasn't saying you should actually ring the doorbell. I didn't ring it, I just said ding dong out loud. Yuki. I was half expecting him to say Al to go, oh, that's my house. Oh, this is the school from her memory. This is the front gate to walk in. So yeah, that wouldn't be her house if she was talking about, you know, the thing that determined whether she was late or not with the crossroads. She'd probably live like further over here. All of these memories so far feel familiar. That structure is still a mystery. Yeah. Please wait. I said Uta has so many doubts of this place. I may know what that is. Really? What do you mean? I can't say anything with certainty, but... So I muted my mic because there's a loud vehicle going by and this is an important scene. Morning, John. I'm doing good. Hope you are. The moment I saw it, I felt something pulling at my heart. Uta still hasn't got her memories back. Perhaps we'll be able to learn more about it once she does? Wait, if we go to Kamigawa's Hardscape... That's right, there's a possibility of another crack forming. What do you think? I believe in the Uta we know now. Uta has the strength to face her past. She already spoke with us about it. Yeah, the rooftop scene. There was a rooftop scene where Uta went up and like got Mio and Hiyori together to talk about the past. We've seen Uta struggle every day. We know just how seriously she's been taking all of this. And here's Uta, you can see it in her eyes, trying to process people being kind to her again, where she can't understand emotions and expressions properly. Like, you can see it in her eyes, she's trying to process this and she's struggling a little. When we decided to go to Al's Heartscape, I felt relieved. Relieved that it wasn't me. I thought maybe I wouldn't have to cause more trouble for everyone. But that's not enough anymore. We must go to my Heartscape. Oh, okay, calling it now. We're going to go to Uta's Heartscape, we're going to leave Al's. Al's Heartscape's going to be the final dungeon. We're going to go to Uta's, finally help this lovable bean that I just want to hug all the time. Help her get her memories back once and for all, with her void eyes. And then we're going to come back to Al, and we're going to go towards that giant gear machine, and that's the final dungeon. That's my hunch. Uta, let me go back. I must face my past. I also want to go. It won't be like last time. We won't make the same mistakes. We all have to believe in each other if we want to move forward. Uta is no different. I fought against Uta many times. There are still some things I can't accept. Uta was our enemy, we can't forget that. But we also can't forget the days we spent together in this world. Yeah, you're right. I trust the Uta Kamigawa we have come to know in this world. We all need everyone's strength. Okay, I'll trust you too, Uta. Let's go back to Uta's Heartscape and do it right this time. What's with that grin in the background, Yuki? I can see you. It looks like she's like leaning into Reina a little bit, which I wouldn't even be surprised if she was. Thank you for trusting me. Who knew Uta would know something about a weird thing in my heart? I never thought my Heartscape would be like this. Actually, that's a point. How does Uta know about something in Ao's heart? Me neither. Best girl to rescue? Oh, absolutely. Me neither. We all had to go to our Heartscapes in the end, huh? Maybe it's about us all giving everything we have to find hope. Yeah, I get the feeling that's got to be it. We just leave. Oh god. We're actually going to go back to Uta's. Can we trigger a rank 8 event, or do we need to get Uta's memory back before we can do it? Okay, we need to get Uta's memory back before we can do it. Let's let these poor girls rest, and then we'll go back to Uta's. I wonder if we have to do it from the start again, or if we'll just be able to start from part 3. Or area 3. Because I'm half tempted to start from the start, just to show like the little things of her like life again. Because we knew that at least for some part of her life she grew up on a farm. And she had a relationship with her grandmother that was extremely strained, because Uta as a child, where she has no understanding of emotion or empathy, as a child it made her a very cruel child. Oh! People in the exploration party seem to be very busy these days. I wonder if there's anything we can help with. There may not be much we can do for them, but let's see. We can always prepare a good meal and be here for them when they come home. Food is the source of one's well-being. That sounds like a plan. We can help out too, right, Lime? Heh, the day for me to show off my cooking skills has finally come. I didn't know you had cooking skills to show off. I can make yaki. Everyone can make yaki. Finally, I'll be able to use the stun gun without drawing too much attention. Shh. Rain doesn't know we have an extra one. Shut up. I need to make more of these, actually. The stun guns, in all seriousness, are actually phenomenal to use in battle because of how many stat nerfs they put on the opponent. Like, they lower the speed, they make it so they feel weightier, they make it so they do less damage, it harms their defense. Like, it's amazing. Well, if we cook our best dish and put them all together, we'll have a full-on feast. Oh, I was kind of hoping that scene would continue. I wanted to see what the support team was going to make. Which actually reminds me, I should make stun guns. Jesus, the Grand Bomb. We need a meteorite fragment, the fuck? Attacks all, does damage, lowers their speed, and lowers their attack and defense. That's kind of amazing. And elixir, HP gain. Oh, we could only make one? Oh, I only have one Duncan Hearts, don't I? HP gain, knockout recovery, heals 2 statuses, and boosts your ether. So stun gun is this game's debilitate? Yeah, stun gun is amazing. Because it could only have one Duncan Heart yet. What's a sacred object? Oh, okay, a lot of different things. And some tonics. Let's go make some Dokal Heights. Oh, however the fuck you're supposed to pronounce these things. No, I want to go to ether, sorry. There we go. 50 blue ether to make one? Oh, okay. That's quite pricey. What do I want to sacrifice? Okay. I'll make 6, so I have 1 extra. It was that group that I had: Shio, Uta, Mio, and Karara. We'll save the elixirs for special occasions, but they're kind of amazing. Okay, where is Stungun? No, make the stun guns first, and we'll worry about all the new stuff. Let's make 5 Stunguns. What is it, like ether down, paralysis, does damage, lowers attack. Like, you can the lowest defense instead if you want. Like, there's a lot of like extras you can make with this. I'll do Song of Sisters. Soothing air freshener. Oh, this is not bad either. Fractional HP gain extra large. Mystic Curtain. Prevent falling in battle. Oh, so it's a temporary second chance. Interesting. Think from chocolate hot pot. Oh, this is the... Hey, do you want to try and inflict as many status conditions as possible? Look at this. Poison, slow, bleed, paralysis. I'll go with this. So this one could be kind of nice too. Just to throw it at them and see if you get lucky with status conditions. And then the Choc Hot Pot. But let's say extra large defense boost. Damn, yeah, let's do starting lineup is kind of OP with this one then. Nice. And there's no new structures to make for whatever reason. No. Nor are there any unique quests we can do. Now we're about to... Oh, hang on. Aha! You want to go on a date? I knew it'd be worth checking out. Could we go talk on the roof? Sure, but on the roof? You're not going to challenge me to a duel, are you? Well, I guess we could do that if you want. You could at least try to play along. Who else is up here? Oh, Coco's just staring off into space. Reina-san? This game has been around for a while, but this game is one of the nicest, cleanest HUDs I've seen. Yeah, the first game had a really nice HUD as well. It's very smooth, but gives you all the information you need. I do kind of hope they add a little bit more patterns and personality to it in the third one, but I get that, like, I think to an extent it's to reference the fact that the world is seen as a computer program to the eyes of the gods. And so it looking like computer menus almost, and having a clean like aesthetic like that fits. The only little thing I'd like to see in a third game, since we're talking about like HUDs and display and whatnot, and I know they won't because this has been a thing for like every single Gust game ever, it's what you're looking at right now. It's the fact that the black boxes appear the moment any kind of dialogue or scene happens. Like, I know it's to make it look more cinematic, but it's like, there's a part where it's like, at least make it an option in the next game or something. Like, if you don't want the black boxes, you can turn them off or something. Anyway, oh, sorry, I must have spaced out. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Don't worry about it. If I didn't want to be interrupted, I wouldn't have brought you along. I like our casual chats. Oh, really? We have more in common than I thought. Do you come up? Do you often come up here? Yes, every night she does. Yeah, usually alone. So why did you bring me today? Good question. Maybe I wanted you to know that there was another side to me, Hoshizaki. Actually, I already knew that. Huh? At first, I didn't think it was like you, but now I realise that it totally is. People who seem like they've got it all together are the people who need time to unwind the most. Unbelievable. What? The way you talk to me is like you truly know me. I'm totally spaced out right now, so you can tell me something you normally wouldn't. I won't get mad, probably. Something I normally wouldn't tell you? There was one thing. The truth is... Actually, I do have one thing to tell you. I was the one who ate your pudding. I'm sorry. Oh, that was you? That's fine, I'll let it slide. The pudding and the cake. There was cake? Well, I didn't even know about it, so that's fine too. Also the cookies. Seriously, that's a bit much, isn't it? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Well, okay, I'll let you off the hook if you take over my cleaning duties one time. I think I can handle that. A plain interior. Anyone else? No? Okay. I'm still waiting for that wave 2. Praying for it. I am going to poke my head in some rooms as we go past. It's a huge ruckus here in the locker room every morning. I wake up a bit late to avoid it. Oh, all the girls doing their cleanup, got it. So they don't all go to the locker room. They sometimes go to there. Just see if I can twig any more optional scenes before we move on. In the sensible and neat room. Still can't break open 2A. Yep. And I don't think there's anything in the library. Except Best Girl. Hi.
Hi.
I must know something that could be of use. It's my turn to help you now. Aww. Sure, let's give you that. And ailment resistance. And what's the fragment we picked up? We've got increased combo count by 1 when attacking enemy and knockdown. Return the battle at 3rd gear after being revived for the first time. Oh, so if you get knocked out when you come back, if you it says return, so it's like if you are at least rank 3, you'll start there. And allows HP recovery to surpass max health, max being 200%, and increases recovery amount when being healed. I'm not that fussed about the super health boosts. Imagine if 2A is a new game plus thing. Oh, you mean like, yeah, literally like a gallery mode that you go into and it's like a bunch of like, maybe it's like there's a jukebox in there and you can listen to the game's soundtrack. Or like an art board and you can check the game's artwork. Because the first game had a jukebox. It was on your phone. It had a jukebox that had the entire game's soundtrack on it. And so I was kind of surprised that this game didn't, considering I love this game's soundtrack. The only things I kind of missed from the first game's soundtrack was how crazy, like, high-energy techno the boss theme was. Like, it hasn't quite got that same buzz to it in this game, where everything's a lot more softer as a whole. Reina! Reina! Are you serious? Look at her! I'm taking a picture of the spacesuit. Oh my god, okay. That's kind of funny. And then she's looking at her phone at the end there. She was making sure the photo was good. She even knew the right position and everything. Okay, Reina does have a bit of a girly side to her. That's just cute as fuck. Oh my, you're watching that movie again? The film's absolutely ancient. What's so interesting about it? The town is beautiful, and the design of the street lamps? Oh, so you have some interesting ideas? Well, we can go back to Owl's Heartscape, but it's time. Oh, we go in from the start. We have to do the first 3 areas again. Interesting. I was going to do it anyway, but we don't have a choice. So we get to listen to this ever so slightly chaotic piano again. Everyone, be careful. Nothing's happening for now. Certainly seems that way. It's a lot calmer than last time. How about you, Uta? Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I feel fine. I think I'm prepared to finally accept myself. I spoke with Hiyori and Mio about my past self. About what I had done, what kind of person I was. That twinge in my chest I felt when I looked at this structure. I want to know what it is. Though I don't know what will happen to me when my memories return. Don't worry. You aren't the person who did those things. If worst comes to worst and you return to who you were, I'll stop you. Hiyori. So let's not worry too much about it. Staying relaxed will likely help this world stay calm as well. Thank you. Getting your memory back might also be the key to solving the mystery of that structure. Now let's go find your memories. Oh, there's a new... that's why. There's a new thing. Okay, the fruitful fields. The farm life toddler Uta grew up around. Or very small, at least, Uta grew up around. These enemies are going to be radically underleveled for us at this point. I saw that said recommend level 36 for this area, so I'm just going to try and swerve them if I can help it. Because she was a farm girl, but had a very difficult relationship with her grandmother at first because of Uta's inability to understand emotions or expressions. And the grandmother never seemed to catch on to that. She just kept on thinking Uta and her weren't getting along. And so we'd just try harder and harder, but because Uta didn't get it, or was just from backwards into that enemy, it just became even more of a strain as time went on. Whilst the later areas became more reflective of who she became. The third area was kind of like a broken up city, and I think that was reflective of, you know, the evil streak in her, because she started becoming the anime villain of, you know, of course they find a random rooftop atop a skyscraper to stand on to make their evil plots. How do I feel? Damn it. You're a big hitbox to that enemy. Oh, whoops, go on auto. I didn't realise I left it on manual from that, the giant slime ranch slime. Yeah, because I did notice your comment eventually, Camo. I didn't notice it straight away. It was like just within that last cutscene I saw you ask if that one enemy you fought in the Ryza dungeon was a slime ranch. No, they're punies. They're a common enemy in the Ryza games, and a lot of the Atelier games for that record. What about you, Uta? How do you feel about seeing me? How do I feel? I don't feel anything. Oh? You're an interesting one, Uta. Yeah, her family didn't understand that she was different. They just thought she was being weird. I don't think there's anything else up here, but it doesn't hurt to check. We did do gardening up here. We had a side adventure where we had to do some gardening before we left. I think Uta is my second favourite dungeon theme so far, because there's so much beauty in it, but there's a lingering chaos. Because it's like it's literally like the two sides of her fighting against each other. The side we know and love now, and the sadistic side of her she used to be. And it's present, you can hear it in the music. There's this beauty, but there's this slight unnerving, bouncing chaos in the background of everything. And the violin adds like a sense of tragedy with it as well. Makes it feel like she lost a lot in her life to become the sadistic monster that she became before she got her memories wiped and ended up here. I'm just hoping that she can understand when she does get her memories back that obviously everything that she thought she didn't have in a sadistic form she does have now, and that she can put that sadistic self of her to one side. I always think about you, Uta. Oh, I didn't even spot the memory chip right here. Hey, Grandma. What is it, dear? Does it make you happy when I come here? Well, of course. I don't get to see you very often. So you're happy to see me because you don't see me very often? That's right. I always think about you, Uta. Make sure I didn't miss one. What are you trying to accomplish here? Let's look over here for a second. While that enemy calms down. And I imagine she will be able to overcome a sadistic side. I think if it was much earlier in the game she came in, then there would be more of a clash to get her there. But I think with how late in the game we already are, I think she'll be able to see a way through it. Because obviously they're going to start pushing towards a happier ending. There's a fully functioning farm here. Imagine if Ao and Ko cleared the demons and barricaded the farm. Like they barricaded Koko's heartscape at first. Fresh food forever. Yeah, that's a good point. But I think they're at a point where I think they've talked about a lot. I think they all know they're approaching the end of this journey, and wherever it's going to be soon. So they're not that fussed about, you know, trying to make a permanent resource anymore, because they know it won't matter soon. One way or another, things are going to change. Well, then Grandma will just have to grow some. How are you feeling, Uta? Yes, I'm all right. 2 memories, one there, one over there. No, I don't hate you, but I don't really like you either. She doesn't understand her emotions, that's what it's going to be. And this one's more caged in by the looks of it. Uta, do you hate Grandma? No, I don't hate you, but I don't really like you either. I see. Well then, I'll just have to work hard to get you to like me. Huh? No, but the Grandma misunderstood. The Grandma just thought that Uta was being awkward and different and didn't understand, didn't like her. But no, it's because she didn't understand anything about emotions and expressions. Oh. Why does that make you happy? Do you like sunflowers, Uta? I hope she does, because I know what to give her then. Do you like sunflowers, Uta? Not really. I was just looking. Oh, that's new. You're showing interest in something. But that's good. I'm glad there's something you're interested in. Why does that make you happy? That's just how grandmas are. Since you said you liked them, Grandma will have to grow these sunflowers with extra love. I didn't say I liked them. Five more shards. Doesn't seem like there's anything else here, so let's move on. Hiyori, stop hitting your head. And she was like, let's just be careful. I mean to say this too, but I love how expressive the eyes are. You can see the character's emotions just from their eyes movement a lot of the time. The entire face expression in this game, not just the eyes, is amazing. That's why I brought up, like, every time Uta, like, you can always kind of tell when Uta's confused, because you can see it in her eyes. When she's trying to process something but struggling. Or like earlier, it's like when people talk, Uta has a habit of looking at their mouths instead of their eyes, because she doesn't understand emotions and expressions easily. Hey, this is because we're closer to her. That unlocked, nice. So I have to go. I don't even know where that is. Oh, it's there. It's there. It's that block there. Okay. Or like Reina, when she was like getting so frustrated with Yuki in Chapter 8 for like never being told anything. And you could see, like, it wasn't just anger in her eyes. She was genuinely so upset, and so you could see it in her face. You could see it in her eyes. You could see it in her whole expression. So how are we going to visit Grandma this year? We need to go this way anyway. Hey, Uta. How about going to visit Grandma this year? Oh, Uta's a bit bigger now. Nah. Why not? You used to go every year. Because you made me. It's not like I wanted to go. Grandma would be sad to hear you say that, you know. Whatever. That has nothing to do with me. So that'll be 12. So 13, 14, and 15 are maybe in the next zone. The 4th zone of Uta's Heartscape. You're not going to let me pass, are you? Ah, the arrow. I didn't get the marker. Oh well. Nice. And then the enemy dies because, like, you know, we're over leveled. Is this spider going to let us pass? Oh god, of course you're right where the ladder is. Please, thank you, out. Okay. I thought I was like, yes, I managed to avoid the enemies. No, I didn't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, did that enemy nudge us back into the ladder? Uh-oh. 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 Oh, we're so close to the secret spot too. Uh-oh. Okay, fine. I think that enemy nudged us into the ladder a little bit just as we was climbing up. Oh well. Oh, I'm feeling that heat again today. It's supposed to break after today. It's supposed to be a lot cooler starting tomorrow. But it's like the difference between the temperature. Like, I don't know how much hotter it is today. I just know it is hotter. And the difference between temperature is, I've got a bit of a sweat on. Oh, Jesus. Don't nudge me into the ladder as well. Well, I felt to like roll down my cheek a little bit as I've been doing this. I'm like, okay, I at least managed to avoid sweating too much last time. I want to at least do Uta's Heartscape. I owe it to my love to Uta to see this through to the end this stream. And then whatever goes on in Owl and presumably the final dungeon we'll do maybe next. There's a chance we could finish this game next stream. That's a terrifying thought because I don't want to finish this game. If not the stream after. It depends if we get another round of dating. If we get another round of dating, then there's no way in hell we're doing it in 2 streams because it takes like 2 hours to get through all that. But we'll see. If we reach the end and it seems like everyone has at least 1 more date to go, then it might be 2 more streams before we finish. Okay, good. No more getting stuck. Okay, what's over here? Speakers? Can we make a sound box when we get back? Yeah, the same. Yeah, I'm staying hydrated. Don't worry. I've got a bottle of water next to me. Actually, I should drink some of it. When I was a kid, I was my own worst enemy for keeping hydrated. I really didn't drink much. I'd go through the whole day on like the equivalent of like 2 cans of Coke. I genuinely didn't have much. It was really bad. And I think I was like 8 or 9, I fainted. Like, I woke up one morning, I was fine, took like 3 steps and completely collapsed and like gave my mum a heart attack. And after that, Mum became a lot more strict on making sure I drink and then it's like become more of a habit. But I genuinely used to be a real nightmare as a kid in giving my fluids up. But then I mentioned it before. I make up for it a lot more nowadays. But when I was a kid, I didn't eat much either. It's the biggest reason why I'm only 5'5". It's because I barely ate when I was growing up, so I didn't grow that much. And it's only now. It's only like when I was like 18 or 19. I started. It's just like recently-ish in terms of years. I started actually enjoying food a little more, and so I started eating a lot more. Uta, you got a letter from Grandma. She said she'd like to see you, even just once. It's been a while. Why do I have to go? You shouldn't say that. For once, won't you think about how Grandma feels? She doesn't understand, no. No one understands. Uta can't figure that stuff out. I told you I don't care. What? Nothing. Oh. Alright, 3 left. We're back at the point we got to before we got kicked out. I think this is where Uta started losing control and we had to turn back. Looks like that won't happen today. Then just up ahead are my memories. Fragments, correct? Yeah, most likely. Though we have no way of knowing since we've never been. Let's be careful. Did that boss respawn? Interesting. Interesting, that boss respawns. I guess if you need to grind quick, that's there. Alright, let's see where this leads to. What's her zone for? Looks like a giant sunflower from here. Let's see what we find. What is her zone for? Back to the farm. Holy shit, that's one big ass sunflower. Oh, that is like, oh, the sun's a sunflower. She does like sunflowers. They're huge. Even for sunflowers, these are gigantic. Must be a really important memory. Sunflowers. I think her grandmother's death is what set Uta off. I think she tried to understand empathy, tried to understand emotion, and thought, you know what, I'm going to try again with Grandma. Tried to go meet her, and then Grandma passed away or something, and she felt like, well, what's the point then? My grandmother grew sunflowers. This must be her garden. Your grandmother? This world must be made up of your memories of her. Yes. We should understand what happened when we get to the end. Not everywhere is available. I wonder if that's an item or whether we need to be closer to Uta. But so 13, 14, 15. Okay, so recipe up there. I wonder what that is. And a recipe down there. And we don't know what's there. But final layer, Land of the Sun. It worries me when the text is black. It might be natural for everyone else. But what, Coco, I'm busy. What do you need? If we climb up something, would we be able to see the path from above? That's not how you're supposed to solve a maze, but I guess now's not the time to worry about that. Oh, it's just a hint. It's a hint for this dungeon. It says you get stuck, find a way to get higher up. Got it. I thought she was genuinely giving us a random side quest in the middle of it. I was like, Coco, time and a place. Liquid metal. Oh, I should fight the enemies. They're new. They're gonna be new. I'm probably closer to our level now. Ugh. If you ever hear pop, that's my water. A couple of years back, when I did that one-off live stream series of Data Live, you know, but before I started doing live streaming like all the time, like I do now, I had an ongoing joke for all of that. My throat would get sore super quick because it was back when I still really didn't drink that much, and so my throat was never hydrated enough, so it would get sore quick. So to survive streaming, I finally started picking up drinking habits a lot more. So even I was better than I already was, but it still wasn't much. And so throughout the entire of Data Life, you can permanently just hear, because I keep on opening the water bottle. I'd be like, 5 minutes later, be like, oh, we stopped for a second, have we? You know, like I just do it all the time. I just got like deja vu when I heard pop a second ago to that. Piano wire. Alright, Uta, what's your memories from this point forward? Uta, you're good at all your other classes. Why is it just Japanese that's hard for you? I don't know. Are you that bad at reading comprehension? You always score well on your kanji dictation text. Try making a habit of reading novels, and when you read, make sure you're always thinking about how the characters feel. More people not understanding that she just can't process emotions and expressions. Which would then lead, how do you think this character feels? Never answered this question even once. It might be unnatural for everyone else, but I've never been able to think about how people feel. How Grandma felt back then. I don't know the answer to that either, even now. It's tragic, but if anything, Uta's is one of the most realistic ones. Even in 2022, there are a lot of people, and I'm not saying that Uta has it, but Uta definitely has something close to it. There's still a idiotically large amount of people who just don't understand and don't have the patience to try and understand people with autism. And I think that's what Uta's story here is to an extension. That no one was prepared to actually try and understand her and just assumed she was being weird or different or out of place. And it led her to feeling even more isolated than she already probably did because she didn't understand. I think this is a telling of that. Alright, so... Okay, so the plan didn't work. I can't see shit up here. I don't really know what you're thinking, or what you think of us, so... And especially in Japan. Japan, still to this day, really doesn't have a good understanding of a lot of mental health based things. Why not just go around? Why do we have to cut through here? Just move the leaves out the way. Whatever. And so I think this is actually a very apt and very accurate, unfortunately, story. Because that's at least the impression I've got from Uta. With how hard she has to work to understand what the intention is that people are talking about and understand what to expect from people X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of traits of autism in her. And so the game hasn't outright said it, and I don't know if it will. Because the first game also had a character that I felt like ticked that box, but they also didn't say it in that game, so maybe they just won't say it. But at least to me, that's the impression I've got. Which, to be honest, makes me want to be there for her more. To try and just be there for her when she feels like no one else is prepared to understand her because of how different she is. So I have a friend like that IRL, and it's the friend, the only time I stop to respond to a message is if it's my mum, my stepdad if it's important, and that one friend that I've mentioned every now and then. So there's this one particular friend that if she messages me, I go out of my way to respond to. She's a genuinely wonderful human being, but she's very much on her own, it feels like a lot of the time, so I always go out of my way to make sure she's okay, because it breaks my heart when she is on her own. Even though she's my age, she can more than look after herself, and I have every faith in that. She's had a lot of time of people seemingly not being prepared to give her any time of the day. So, do you have any hobbies? Plus side is that my friend isn't a secret sadist, or if she is, I don't know about it. That's only Uta's thing. But then saying that, if Uta was real, I know that everyone likes to say things they think they do, and then when it actually comes to what they do, they wouldn't. But I would like to think if I met someone in real life that was exactly like Uta, like someone who maybe has a sadistic side, but ultimately just struggles to understand emotions, or even if they are just straight up a bit sadistic, but there is some kindness in them, like Uta can be, I'd like to think I would give them the time of day and want to be there for them. Especially because even if they are sadistic, my pain tolerance is dangerously high. I mean, high enough that I've dislocated joints and not known about it kind of high. And so, I'd be fine. I would just go through it as long as it doesn't get abusive, you know? I'd just try and help them out a little. Sunflower maze. I need to drink some water again. I guess there'll be a maze up ahead. A lot of my childhood was people ignoring me because of my quirks and it made me really introverted. Yeah, I get that. Because I've said it before, I'm not autistic, but I'm aware I'm on the scale, if that makes sense. I know I've got traits of it. I know there's small pieces of it in there. And a lot of that led to me having very peculiar quirks and very odd things. Like, I struggle sometimes to empathize with real people. And you've heard me get emotional and nearly cry at these guys, the characters on the screen, you know? My understanding of empathy and my understanding of emotions and whatnot is weird. And I know it's weird. It fixates on things that on people I don't actually know, but seems to stumble on itself sometimes with those I do. There are situations where I feel like no one gets me, and situations where I feel like I'm weird or different, or I wish I could be different and things like that. But equally, I've learned to accept that that's not the case. It's just an unfortunate thing that happens sometimes. And the only reason I'm capable of live streaming and speaking confidently about it is because I've had years to dwell on it. I've had years to think about it. I've had years of processing and focusing on my own, or through the games I play, or the stories I share, or like, because I've got a hyperactive imagination, I write a lot. I've had ways of getting it out to trying to find my comfort zone, and I'm not always happy with who I am, but I'm at least able to accept who I am. And I know for a lot of people that's enough, and I'm prepared to live with that. I might not be happy with everything who I am, but I'm prepared to accept that this is just me. That's so dangerous. We better make sure nobody gets lost. Did your true feelings slip out for a second there? Nope. Really? Yes, really. Seriously? Oh, it's locked off though. It's not much of a maze. We can't even go check it out. Oh. A dead end. We should look another way. Let's pick this up first. Crusty paint supplies. The fact that we're picking up new resources also gives me hope that there's going to be, I should probably interact with this now, that there's going to be more date stuff, because they're going to want us to craft more facilities, I think. Ooh, middle school. Uta, do you have any hobbies? Nothing in particular. Oh, really? Is there anything you like, or anything you've been into lately? Not really. I see. Well, that happens, I guess. Am I weird? Huh? I've been called that a lot, so am I? I wouldn't say weird, but I guess I don't really understand you. We never really know what you're thinking, or what you think of us, so I see. And I've mentioned it before, I don't have any contact really at all with my high school or secondary school, UK friends. There's like one or two from college I still talk with, one of them being that girl I was talking about earlier. But like, that's it. And a lot of it is because I am just how I am. Like, those friends, a lot of them, even if they understood what was going on with me, and sometimes even better than I did, everyone has limits, and I know I can be overbearing sometimes. I've talked about it before, that I know I can be too much because of just how I am. Like, you've heard me, like, because I know, like, I'm a little bit more lower key today because I'm just tired, unfortunately. But when I'm awake, you've heard in those streams how, like, hyper energy and consistent I am. That's genuinely me. Especially when I'm awake and with it. That's genuinely me. That's who I strive to be and who I always, like, go out of my way to be. And I know, like, that kind of, like, positivity push, and I say it's not me because I'm trying to brag or anything like that, it's just how I am. I know a lot of that can be overwhelming for people, and it can be sometimes just irritating, because it's like, well, just shut up, Rob, will ya? I get it. And a lot of that does feel like that. There's a lot of people that, like, constantly said, yeah, we'll have to catch up sometime, and then just never messaged me again. I 180'd my introvertedness. I was talking on mic on YouTube for the first time, and I've never looked back. My first few commentaries were rough, but a lot more confident now is my day off. Yeah, I'm the same. It's the reason why some of my earliest Let's Plays aren't on this channel anymore. Or if they are, they're not in a playlist, so they're not as immediately accessible to find. It's because some of my earliest Let's Plays from 2016, oh sorry, 2015, Jesus Christ, I'm old. 2015, I had no confidence. Some of them, you can hear that depression was hitting me like a truck. And as I said before, I didn't like who I was in college. I don't like the person I was in college, and so that personality came through from time to time in those older Let's Plays. And so the only Let's Plays I keep on the channel now are the ones I'm actually happy with. Even if they're not perfect. Like, some of them are still super old and so kind of clunky, but I'm at least happy with them. But yeah, Because you're talking about something you care about. You always feel more into it, and because you know, more often than not, the people that are going to find your content and find your channel are already going to be interested in that stuff. You feel happier about it. It's like, well, yeah, people are going to hop in and, you know, be as excited as I am, maybe. And especially when you're more niche, because I said, if you get a much bigger audience, which I'm always crossing my fingers that will happen one day. If I ever get a bigger audience, there will always be the part that is, there's going to be people that won't be there for the game, they'll be there just for my commentary or whatnot, which would be really, like, endearing, and, like, I'll be so grateful. But at the same time, there'll also be a part, I mean, it's like, it'll lose a little bit of that spirit that I love, that the people that hop in this aren't just here for my commentary. And if you are here for my commentary, that's not to discredit you, for the record. Or to, like, or to make you feel worse or anything at all. I'm just saying, like, that spirit, that almost community spirit of it, a part of it would be missing if I ever got super popular. Star Smash. We need that for the Cauldron. It's the voice of my dead. Her grandma did die, and that's what started to set Uta off. I think her grandma did die, and that's where the tragedy track starts as well. That she never got to. She'd already, like, well, I don't know. Would she even understand guilt? I don't know. I'm going to go back and make that Star Smasher though, because she'd never really had a relationship with her grandma, despite her grandma never stopped trying. And then by the time Uta tried to think about it and tried to do something about it, it was way too late. I don't even know how many of these Star Smashers we need to make. Oh, not that we can make much. It removes obstacles? What? We need liquid metals. We're fine on that. We need heavy sand. Liquid metal and heavy sand. My first commentary was for a guide, and I wanted to delete it, but the guide did well, like 30k views. Fuck, yeah, why? But I've gotten comments that people think I have some throat disease or something. I was a mess. Honestly, no matter how popular it may or may not be, ultimately, you need to decide for yourself how much you care for it. If you like it, you like what it means, you like what it is, just like, even if there are little things about it you're not too sure on, keep it and be proud of it. But if you genuinely, personally, aren't happy with it, it's okay to accept that. And it's okay to move away from it. Even if it's like it's okay to get rid of it, or if you don't want to get rid of it, equally it'd be okay to maybe like pin a comment at the top saying, I recorded this when I was a lot less confident, sorry for my voice, yada yada. Or something like that, if you wanted to. You shouldn't have to apologise for who you are, for the record. I'm just saying if that's what you wanted to do. Because Lord knows I had no confidence. The biggest criticism I got in my earlier videos is that I sounded like a robot. I had no emotional expression, because I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I just spoke in my normal voice, and my normal voice at the time was a lot like this. And so it didn't work. But it's your content, and if you want to be proud of it, you should absolutely be proud of it. But if you want to get rid of it, then you absolutely should get rid of it. But I think you should think about it. If it's an important step for you, it's an important step. The only Let's Plays I've truly got rid of is I did a Let's Play of the original Grand Theft Auto 3. But in that Let's Play, there was a video where I openly talked about my depression for the entire episode and not at all about the game. And it was while I was like at my worst point with it, and when I watched it back, it makes me feel uncomfortable, and so I got rid of it. I don't care that the videos did well and people liked watching them. I wasn't comfortable with them anymore, so got rid. What was the other thing we needed? I've already forgotten. Liquid metal. We got the sand. Well, we weren't going to make too many, but we got some. And the other one was Sonic the Hedgehog 1, because I was angry for the whole Let's Play, and I didn't feel like that represented me at all, because it was back when the very first design of Sonic was revealed. You know, the really awful one that they thankfully changed. And I was so angry that it felt like one of my favorite childhood franchises was getting kicked around again. And a lot of that anger came out in that Let's Play, and when I watched it back, I really, really wasn't happy with it because of that anger. It felt so... vicious unnecessarily, and I just hated it. I wanted nothing to do with it, and so I got rid. No, I don't want to use too much quaking sand. I don't want to use too much piano wire because I don't know if I'm going to need it later. Move one. There we go. Right. I can't even remember how many we need for this, but I'm just going to kind of go crazy. Part of me wants to keep it because it shows my personal growth. Like, if you watch it and watch my newer stuff, the growth genuinely shocks me that I'm a new person than back then. Then yeah. Then, like, if the whole, like, the voice of how you did at the time bothers you, make it a pinned comment then. Go back through them and just leave a pinned comment saying, this was recorded at a very different time in my life, or recorded such a long time ago. My commentary now is very different to how it is here. I assure you my throat is fine. If you want to, like, put like a little joke on the end of it or something. You know, just something like that. You don't have to use those exact words. I'm just trying to help a little. Alright, let's put this cauldron back down for a sec. I never used the fireworks. I'll put it over that for a sec. Just so we can put this last, I hope, last piece in. Fuck! God damn it, game! Of course I'm one shot! Ugh. Do I need to make more water, or can I actually just make one more? Make two more, so I have one extra. If it can remove obstacles, it'd probably be good to have one more. Right. Let the animation play out because this might be the last time we get to see it. Yay, already at maximum. Okay, so we should be able to get that recipe in the third Ryza area. And I'm also going to just make a point of removing it now because it now serves no purpose. Because you don't get any dates surrounding it. Damn, I was optimistic there might be like a one-off date. Maybe Uta would go to the vending machine. Alright, so let's very quickly detour back to Ryza's and go to the final layer to go get that treasure. And avoid accidentally encountering the big pony again. I don't want to fight that thing a third time this stream. Nice. Okay, so we have to go around and then take that wire across. Okay. So if I go through here and make sure to cut as harshly down as possible to make sure I don't, like, aggro that son of a bitch. Oh, that was a lot of Puna balls. I'm happy about that. Alright, final recipe. Please be worth it, because you have to literally 100% this DLC to access it. either be a really hilarious joke item or be like the best thing in the game. One or the other. It's a ladder. Can I use this to like make a shortcut back? Yes. Owl has brains. She's gonna be like, I can just push this over, can't I? Yeah, she's looking over the edge. Yep. Atta girl. There's your shortcut. Nice. I'm glad the ladder was big enough. Lucky the guide is outdated so he doesn't get many of the views anymore. It's more of a testament. What was the guide of, if you don't mind me asking? M Craft? What? It's not a facility, it's a craftable. What does it mean, M Craft? Oh! It's an attack nut. Okay, there's a slightly underwhelming, but ether recovery speed down, ailment slow, does damage as well. It's actually an attack nut. Alright. But that's that 100%ed. The DLC's done. There's still one more enemy we haven't encountered yet, okay. Oh, loading. There we go. That took a while to load. There's an Overwatch guide from 2017 about how a character called Sombra matched against other characters. It was a general for each tip as he caught them one-on-one as Sombra. Oh! Yeah, I know who Sombra is. I played Overwatch until a little after... what's that big six-legged robot that has the shield on it? The one after Doomfist. Like, that was the last character I played. After that, I drifted because I just wasn't enjoying the game that much anymore. But yeah, I know Sombra. I didn't main her, but I used her a little bit. I was more of a little menace Junkrat. And no, I have zero interest in Overwatch 2. The game is the epitome of we're forcing this out the door super early to bury the controversy that our whole company is marred in. Can't stay too long to stay hydrated. No worries, John. You take care. You too. Ryza, yeah. Okay, there's a boss right there, or you can go the long way around. I'll just fight the boss and then go the long way around. You know, explore everything. That's my Aussie boy. Yeah, I just liked playing as Junkrat. I found him fun. I know he pissed people off sometimes. I mean, you could just, you know, wheel his ult around the corner and just fuck people over, and you'd be like, nah! And you just hear people go, you bastard! But he was fun. But yeah, so I've no interest in Overwatch 2 because it's... I don't know if you saw it. The roadmap was announced about 6 hours after the news report came out that Activision Blizzard says that Activision Blizzard has nothing controversial about it. That they said that Activision Blizzard did their own independent scan and decided that all the bosses are perfectly fine and had no ability to know of all the controversial stuff that happened, all the harassment and everything, and so should be let off scot-free. And it's like, you pricks. There's literally Activision Blizzard says Activision Blizzard is fine, and it was a news report to try and make themselves avoid that shit. So when everyone called them out of it, surprise, surprise, they suddenly announced Overwatch 2 as a roadmap. It's like, No, you had that intern at gunpoint to make sure you did that to try and bury the controversy the moment it came up. And the story mode content that was going to be advertised as the big new thing for the game isn't even going to be on the game at launch. It comes out, you know, the following year. So what's the point? It's literally a reskin of Overwatch. But with less abilities and characters you can have in your party at any given time. Because it's like lowered it from 6 to 5. Overwatch was killed by Blizzard and isn't coming back. I saw it till launch till 2020, and the neglect is shameful of the first game. Yeah, fair enough. I just felt like every balance change that came to that game, it was the thing that turned me off, felt like just served what the devs thought was balanced instead of what actually needed to be balanced. Like, you know, I felt that Mercy was really good when her ult was a group res, but it could be easily countered. If you just relied on it, people would complain to you. If you were the Mercy, people would prioritize you, so you had to like make an actual balance of trying to protect your squad. Whilst after that, they're like, oh no, we think it was too powerful. It's like, no, you just eliminated a strategy. You didn't actually balance her. You just took away some of the fun. Oh, like Bastion, who was a perfectly okay middle ground member, and they buffed the shit out of him for a while and made him like ridiculously overpowered for no good reason. When everyone was perfectly happy with how he was. It's like, it felt like a lot of the balances were just what the dev team thought needed to be balanced and not what actually needed to be balanced. And it felt like anytime anyone said, please for the love of God buff McCree, all they did was nerf him. Like, McCree was like such a difficult character who had like one trick, and that was that his gun had a really good like tick aim on it, and it just, everything else just got worse and worse and worse. His flashbang was useless. His ult was extremely situational and easily challengeable. It was just if you've got a good PC aim, you'll do all right with him in doing damage, but that's literally it. And instead of buffing him, they just made everything worse and then worse and then worse. And that's ignoring the fact that he's not even called McCree anymore, because, you know, McCree was a reference to, you know, a really, really, really creepy, morbid piece of shit, but that's besides the point. But maybe, you know, maybe, Blizzard, in future, you shouldn't have so many properties, because there was so many characters across all of their properties that had a reference to that one person. It's like, maybe next time don't have characters reference your staff so much, especially when, oh, you know, one of them was a sexual abuser, and horrendously, like, harassing and abusive in general. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't, because then you just, like, you realize how deeply weaved this piece of shit was into the entire company. Maybe don't do that. But that's enough about that. That's not a topic I like bringing up too much. Blizzard as a whole annoy me, and I haven't been their biggest fan, shall we say, for a long while. And it's just all the stuff that's happened over the past year or so has just exacerbated a lot of it. There's a lot of Western AAA companies that you'll see I really don't have that much time for. And it's not that I hate all of them or anything like that. There's a lot of them I actually appreciate and like what they do and how they handle it. It's just a lot of them, they feel like cogs in the machine that don't actually care about their own staff. And I'm never too keen on supporting that. Whilst a lot of the genuinely original and more creative works of art that feel like actually, you know, have that flair of a passionate team that wanted to do something special comes from the Japanese side. Good example, the game we're playing, you know? And I mean, the easy proof of it is Elden Ring came out, was radically different from any other open world game. Everyone loved it, except those AAA Western developers, because it didn't follow their standardized formula. And it's like, no, the fact that there even is a standardized formula about how game design should go is part of the reason why I don't like them, because they feel like they blend into each other. You play an Assassin's Creed, you get a similar feeling out of a Ghost Recon. And I know they're both Ubisoft, so that's a bit unfair, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels like you can tell they come from the same blood, even if they're supposed to be radically different from one another. And so I just lost interest in all of them. Like, I didn't really click with Witcher 3 because it just felt like another game that followed that formula. Yes, it did the formula insanely well, but it still was another one that followed this Western formula to a T, and I was just like, I'm not into that. I want something that's different. I want a game that shows me what I didn't know I wanted, instead of just what I wanted, you know? Like this game, I didn't know I wanted a game that was like an anime schoolgirl adventure that's like has a central theme of empathy and actually talks about a lot of serious topics in a very soft and caring manner. But here we are, and I love it. I didn't really know I wanted an open world game that told me absolutely fucking nothing and expected you to figure out everything yourself. But Elden Ring was phenomenal. You know, like, there's a lot of things like this. Like, give me what I don't realize I want. Okay, so after this, there's another thing up there, and there's another recipe there. I hear a voice. The voice of my dead grandma. I hear it whenever I see this yellow field. The yellow takes over my mind completely, making me lose my train of thought. Damn it. This feeling of not knowing how I feel. It makes me sick. Such a feeling should not exist. Oh, this is how she started to turn. She hated that she didn't understand, and go away. Yeah, and she started to hate herself. Do you like sunflowers, Uta? I hate them. Go away. Trophy unlocked, thanks for the memories. Oh no, I know what that trophy is. Yeah, collect every single memory shard. That's it for the memory shards. So that means Owl's not having any memory shards. I think Owl's is the final dungeon. I think my theory's right. I think that was the confirmation, because that was the last collectible, essentially. Uh-oh. Oh, Mum's messaging, hang on. I don't know why we got that message from Coco saying get high up. I know it was supposed to be a hint, but like you can't see anything on any of these platforms. So I don't get it, Coco. It hasn't solved anything. God, this track's beautiful. Especially now we have more context for it as well. I might try Overwatch 2 only because it's free to play. I was an Overwatch channel, but even if the videos do well, if I don't enjoy the game, I won't force myself to play it. Yeah, that's fair enough. Kamichi Hotpot. I said, I personally have zero interest. Like, I'm long since done with Overwatch. Free to play or not, it's not enough to make me play it. Especially the whole time Blizzard's still marred in controversy. The moment I know the women of the company are safe, and that people aren't being harassed or cranked out to work on impossibly evil projects with impossible deadlines and uncomfortable situations all the time, then I'll be more interested in entertaining it. And that's not saying you can't just because you want to. Like, I'm not saying that at all, because ultimately it's the game, that the end result, that's what matters. Also, small thing, why didn't we just climb over? Why did we do that? Why didn't we just climb over the thing? Wouldn't it have been easier to climb over the thing? Wouldn't it have been safer to climb over the thing? What the fuck? Was you worried your skirt was going to get caught on those little parts of the pole? Anyway. Alright, Uta. Let's see if you're prepared to accept your memories. Because I imagine this long stretch is like this for a reason. It's the final stretch. To the big flower. Alright, Uta, just know that we love you. And you can do this. I didn't want to see my grandmother. Uta? I didn't understand people's emotions. I didn't understand why my grandmother wanted to see me. So when she died, I didn't feel anything. But now... You like sunflowers, Uta? Well then Grandma will just have to grow some. Since you said you liked them, Grandma will have to grow these sunflowers with extra love. After she died, my mother asked me if I wouldn't try to go visit my grandmother's house one last time. It had been almost 5 years since our last visit. When we arrived, this whole place was filled with sunflowers, just like this. It is nice looking, because her most significant memory before she became that sadistic person she was for a while was of her grandmother, so of course it's beautiful. At the time, I didn't understand why she grew them. She grew them for you, but you never came back, Uta. But now, I feel the pain in my chest when I think about it. That's guilt. What is this? Someone tell me, what is this pain in my chest? It's empathy. It's... Okay, we'll have to deal with the creepy spider first. Uta, over here. Okay, run into my arms. I mean, no, don't do that. It's okay. It's okay, Uta. Your answer is right in front of you. Alright, spitter time. Okay, let's do this. Hang on, I've got so many unique extra items. Let's add you to favorites. Let's add you to favorites. And we'll try this. Oh, it's got buddies. I didn't even spot the buddies at first. Okay. That's only on one. And the stun gun is all of them, so the stun gun it becomes. Alright. Alright, now we can just focus on the boss. Also, hang on, did Owl jump straight from Gear 2 to Gear 4? She did, didn't she? So there you go, I guess if you get enough of an ether boost, you can just skip levels like that. You got an ether recovery speed boost from doing that, I saw that. Well, I've got a bomb for you. Yes, go get the button! This is where we get to the end of it. It's like Uta's like, I can't remember anything anymore. What do you mean, Uta? Well, you nuked the shit out of my Heartscape, so I can't. Well, it's 62,223 230 damage. I think the enemy's dead. Yes, everything is dead. Alright, let's see this through, and then after like the cutscenes that follow, we'll see if we unlock any new dates, and then I'll wrap up. Which I know is a little earlier than usual, but once again, I have to be wary of this temperature. And I don't know how big Owl's Heartscape's going to be, especially if it is the final dungeon. Uta! Yes? That feeling in your chest, I know that it's something very important to you. Favorite weapon? I'd say the scythe. I'm a sucker for the gothic aesthetic. I'd say the scythe. But I do like that Hiyori's got the two blades that split off. And they can click on the end like Darth Maul's lightsaber sort of thing. So you can be like a double-edged sword, or it can be two short swords, or it can be one sword linked together, because they can they fuse into one another. I think that's kind of cool. Whilst oppositely, I'm sorry Reina, but I think Reina is like the worst looking weapon. And I get that it's representative of her life, and that she's more athletic and has done more gymnastic-esque things, so her having a hoop makes sense, but at the same time, it's a fucking hoop. You know? Feeling in your chest, I know that it's something very important to you. The fact that you couldn't understand people always bothered you. You thought that you may be broken. Isn't that right? Yes. But it's not like that now. It's taken time, but after spending time with all of us here, you've begun to understand. Your grandmother loved you. I know you can see that now. Oh, she's gonna have to fight away that sadistic side of her's the problem. Uta! They're wrong. You don't care about your grandmother. Don't you remember the pain? The pain is all you need. You don't need the crutch that is emotion. Uta! It's okay. Believe in yourself. Yuri. Fragment. We did it. It was Uta? Yeah, because it's the other personality of her. I was lonely. And so were you. I wish we could see a full model of what her reflector costume looks like, because you could see the shadow outline of it. That she had almost like a fencer costume on, where she's got like this frilly bit around her sort of thing. She almost looks like she's a lot posher sort of thing. But now she has to face that version of her directly. What nonsense are you on about? No one understands you. No one accepts you. We felt so alone. Enough! Is that what human emotion is? No. Don't. Stop trying to understand me! It's pointless. After all, I'm you, and you're me. Uta? They're worried. No, but they're all sitting there like, please don't go back to Sadie. It's not enough for either of us. I'm in no position to ask for forgiveness. And yet you still... Oh! She has got the sadistic memory back. Look at her eyes in the face. Like, she's sterner, but she's fighting herself. Like, she wants to be loved. She wants to be the kind of version of her. But now she knows everything. And that stern eyes is like, I remember the monster I was. That's what that is. I'm in no position to ask for forgiveness, and yet you still... Why did you do all these terrible things? Because it's fun, of course. We were collecting fragments. You stood in our way. We were enemies. Yeah, we were. All emotions were nothing but a lie. Pain was the only thing I trusted. Such a world filled with lies and deceit was painful for me. And so that's what you wanted. That's why I tried to destroy it all. I didn't need emotions. If only I could steal the fragments, it would bring me closer to my ideal world. That's what that was my fault. But she's still racked with guilt. We were fundamentally incompatible. I'm sure you must have hated me. Yeah, she sounds a little bit lower tone. Like she's like that part of her is with her again. So she's not as like sweet voiced. Am I wrong? Yep. Don't look at me like that. The more I remember, the less I understand. You have no reason to be so kind to me. So why? Why else? We all saw in your memories of your grandmother. You've suffered too. Stop! I wasn't going to voice that. She's going to start shouting. No chance. Aww. Trophy unlocked. I am you and you are me. Yeah, someone do hug her. Hiyori, Uta, Mio, oh, Oni-chan, Big Sis. Uta, like she's trying to process a lot in a very short time span. You can see that she's trying to figure it out. I don't understand you two. I finally realized after recovering my memories, you and I will never understand each other. Isn't that right? Yes, that may very well have been the case. My existence is nothing that you can't tolerate. Is something that you can't tolerate. The cross I bear isn't something so easily solved. But I know that you want to change. Hmm? Also, no crack appeared. That is proof from this world that you kept your promise. That alone shouldn't be enough to absolve me of... Enough! I'm tired of this! What? Then I'll never forgive you. What? You could spend the rest of your life atoning for what you've done, together with us. Unbelievable, all of you. It seems I'll never understand people's emotions, no matter how hard I try. I can't just abandon my old self behind so easily. Indeed. The part of me will always exist somewhere inside. It tries to tempt me, telling me just how good it would feel to destroy everything. But I won't. I understand that now is not the time for that. I don't want to die like this. So if this is the way I can make amends to you all, I will share with you what I know, the connection with God I once had. Huh? What? Uta? No, that wasn't me. I didn't... Damn you, get out of my way! I get it, stop yelling in my head like that. Uta, are you okay? Oh, she's still fighting the other side of her. Which one are you? Which do you think? No, I'm sorry, I don't really know myself. But what I do know is that I'll never forget the things that happened here, and that my old self is somewhere inside of me. I don't think that's such a bad thing. Huh? All those things together, they're what make you you. It's not the old you and the new you. Both of those things together are what make Uta. Hiyori. I may try to hurt you again one day, you know. And I'll stop you with everything I've got. So don't worry so much. Let's all get along. Gross. I don't know if I need to do all that all of a sudden. What do you mean, gross? We're friends, aren't we? Don't go any closer. Get away from me. Oh, come on, stop running away. Perhaps this is the best we could have hoped for. I think you're right. I'm glad Uta has Hiyori. Feels like we finally have the same goal. Yeah, let's hear what Uta has to tell us then. I thought she was going to jump on her. I think she tried to. Uta, come back. I'm being chastised by Hiyori. Chased. A bit of a typo there. We'll meet you in the classroom. Fucking, I'm being chastised. I meant chased. It seems like they're having fun. Oh, I love Uta. Yeah, I'm glad. She's come a long way. New talent type. Yay! My true self. Collects a recovery boost. Attack. Okay, if it's the sadistic side, attack boost on everyone makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. That's where it was hiding. Oh, there's a scene in the courtyard. Let's go do that first. Oh, hey, what are you all talking about? Hey, Al. So we're thinking about planting some new flowers in the garden, but we just can't decide on what kind of flowers to plant. Oh, come to think of it, the garden has been looking pretty nice lately. Oh, that's because Uta has been... No, it is all thanks to Hiyori and Mio for helping me tend it. Aww, Uta's been taking care of the flowers, got it. Sorry, I'm a little lost. Well, first, Mio and I saw that Uta was taking care of the garden on her own. So we decided to help her out, but then we got really into it. Then we all thought we should plant more flowers, so we started discussing what to plant. Wow, that's really cool, Uta. But why were you tending to the garden by yourself in the first place? Atonement, I suppose. For the things I've done in the past, the trouble I've caused because of my inability to interact with you properly. Uta, you don't need to... That isn't all. I fear that my other self, the one from my past, will re-emerge and destroy this life we share. I can't stop worrying about that, so another reason I tend to the garden is to keep my mind off such thoughts. I see, you have a lot on your shoulders, don't you? Hiyori and Mio were kind enough to lend a hand to my selfish ritual. I told you before, there's nothing selfish about it. What you're doing is a good thing. Yes, you don't need to punish yourself for the choices that the other Uta couldn't make. I think so too. You're a very strong person, Uta. That is true. It's only because of everybody accepting me for who I am. Anyway, I believe we were discussing what colour flower we'd like to plant. Hiyori wants pink, Mio wanted blue ones, and I thought violet would be nice. Which colour do you think would be best, Al? I do like the idea of violet flowers. That would be great. We don't have any of those in the garden yet. If anybody was going to suggest violet, I'd figure it'd be you, Uta. I just thought some small violet flowers would be subtle and unintrusive. There's no such thing as an intrusive flower, Uta, but I think the mystical vibe of violet flowers suits you. It does? I agree. There are many different types of violet flowers, which stirs the imagination. It is a striking hue that stands out against other flowers, changing the entire feel of a garden. But the flowers you choose are small, with only a faint violet hue. I find that a very considerate choice. Oh, that's exactly like Uta. I think that'd be perfect. So this is how those two see me. I don't think such words suit someone like me, but it does make me feel... Oh, that's the wrong voice. I don't think such words suit someone like me, but it does make me feel happy. Can't wait to see the new flowers. Can I help too? Of course, Al. The garden will be beautiful no matter what colour flowers we plant, I'm sure of it. Well, let's water these flowers as we think about what colour flowers to plant next. Yes, let's. I can't wait. You know, this is nice. Had we not come here, we would never have found ourselves watering a garden full of flowers together. True, I feel content. I used to think everyday life was something but a bore. But the days that we do these mundane things are far more precious than I ever expected. I imagine we wouldn't be able to drag Uta onto a date anyway until we hear her out about this god stuff. We'll do that, and that will probably be then like the point where the game goes, oh, final dungeon time, go when you're ready. Oh, I didn't mean to boost Hiyori. I was aiming for Shio. Oh well. Hiyori could do the attack boost, I guess. Where are we even going for this objective? Okay, classroom. Alright, let's hear you out, Uta. Now then, I'll tell you everything I know. I'm ready. Before we talk about that structure, there's something you must know about my former ambitions. My original goal was to remake the world as I pleased. As you pleased? A world without feelings, bonds, or any of the other things I couldn't comprehend. The structure was created in order to achieve that. I called it Origin. Origin? Origin is the creator of this world we live in, its laws, and everything in it. What? Is that the name of world system? Origin? Exactly. The human mind is incapable of comprehending it. We don't know where it exists or how it created the world. That is Origin. Origin. There's something you all refer to as the world system, correct? Yeah, it's our enemy, I guess you could say. If I had to guess, I'd say that it's also somehow connected to Origin. Oh, so it's not. Okay, so world system is a separate thing. Is this their way they're going to have like maybe a third game later on? Where this game we deal with the world system and the third game we take the fight to Origin's door? Maybe? So Origin is something even more powerful than the world system. Perhaps, but as I said, it's just a hypothesis. The truth of the matter is beyond human understanding. It's possible that the world system and Origin are one and the same, or perhaps it was the world system that created Origin. Even the name Origin is simply my own name for it. I don't know what it's really called. AKA, if they get to a third game and think of a cooler name, they can call it that instead. Speaking of, Yuki. She said Kinjo in the translation. I heard that. She said she didn't call her Yuki. She called her Kinjo. Yeah. You mentioned that everyone is in danger because of your presence here. The truth is, that's only true from your own human perspective. Yuki was dead, and the world system brought her back. That's a fact. But even Yuki can only guess as to why and for what purpose. Is that right? Come to think of it, she did mention something like that. Why would the world system do such a thing? Who knows? How can I possibly understand how God thinks? Come to think of it, you might be right. We have to accept that this is what we are facing. Facing God. There's only one thing I know for certain. Origin is the creator of this world. But how can you know for sure, Uta? Didn't you say yourself it's beyond human comprehension? Only a god can comprehend a god. I learned it from the Sephira. The Sephira. What Uta considers a god and what we consider a god are slightly different. The gods Uta are referring to are the Sephira, the same beings Hina reflected. Uta and Lime did say you had the power of a Sephira. Yes, that's right. I used that power to try and reconstruct the world by offering my fragment to Origin. But my plan was thwarted, and that brings us to now. I'm guessing that's the anime she's talking about then. Isn't it JRPG unless you fight God? Yep. I think I get it. Actually, nope, I don't get it at all. I'm lost. So, how did such a thing appear inside Ao's heart? That? I don't know either. Everything I've just told you still doesn't explain why Origin exists within Ao's heart. If anything, it simply raises even more questions. The more I think about it, the more impossible it seems. The scenery inside the Heartscapes has always been based on memories. She must have seen this Origin somewhere before. She saw Origin? Maybe Ao really did lose her memory. Or that, or someone tinkered around inside her heart. Is that possible? Uta, everyone, thank you for your help. I think I need a little time to think. Of course. I think this is a lot to take in. Ow. Inside my heart. Someone manipulated my memory. It must have been then. It must have planted a memory of something I'd never experienced. Either that, or I've actually seen Origin, and my memory of it has been erased. But even if I had seen it, where could that possibly have been? I was just living an ordinary life. There's no way I would have seen something like that. There's no way. Unless my original goal, thanks motorbike, was to remake the world as I pleased. Origin is the creator of this world we live in, its laws and everything in it. Origin exists to reconstruct the world. Up until now we've only thought about how to get back to the real world and our lives there. But what if we should have been worrying about how to make it so we weren't taken from our lives at all? Even if we can't make the world go back to how it was, we can at least give everyone their lives back as they were. We could rebuild the world just like it was before by doing what Uta was trying to do before. We can just reconstruct the same world from scratch, then everyone's lives should go back to normal. Be reborn. Those words weren't meant for me. It's about the world. But then what will happen to me? Exactly what I said. No human with the name Ao Hoshizaki has ever existed in our world. What will happen to the world I lived in? Will I never be able to return to my world? Am I really okay with that? Can I really trust this mysterious text message? Hey, Ao. Whoa! Are you okay? Trouble coming up with an answer? Yeah, pretty much. Don't mind me though. What's up? Would you mind coming with me? Huh? Is something wrong? I just figured you could use a break from thinking. I thought a walk might take your mind off things. Okay. What's got into her all of a sudden? Oh, there's going to be a surprise party, isn't there? Yep, there's a surprise party or something we're going to get dragged to. This is going to be a date with everyone. I can't even bring up my map. I don't even know what the destination is. I've got a notification. Let me check. Currently handling dangerous substance in the workroom. Do not enter. Please. They're up to something. What? Perhaps she's making some more tools to play pranks with. Oh, right. But dangerous substances? What should she be up to? They're planning something. No, it's Mio and Uta. When did we start using this classroom again? Oh yeah, we used to live with Reino and Shiro at first. They always made such a big fuss about tidying up. Heh, they did. Feels like so long ago now. I don't even know where the destination is. I'm just walking around. I will poke my head into the classroom though. What are you two talking about? Even in my memories, I am still me, thank goodness. Okay, generic talk. While she's looking at the shelves. I said I can't bring up my map, so I have no idea where the destination is. We're just going to waddle around. I'm going to check the library though, just in case there's someone in there. I think our ultimate goal is that workroom Yuki's trying to stop us from going into. Oh, by the way, I read the book you recommended, Al. Really? What did you think? I really liked it. You have to recommend me another one. I also like that instead of taking them on dates, they are taking Ao on a date. It's a role reversal, it seems. 1 totem, 2 totems. Keep it up, Kirara. What kind of training are they doing? So lively around here now. It really is. The hallways used to be so empty, it was almost creepy. Now, there's almost always someone in the halls, and if not, you can hear people in the distance. Yep, it's really comforting. There's 2 date spots. Why do we need to go outside? Oh, it is the workroom. We probably shouldn't go in. When someone says they can't do something, you can't do something, that means you want to do it. Have you heard of nitroglycerin? Huh? It's a really volatile chemical. Apparently even the slightest impact can cause it to explode. It's used in dynamite, for example. If you open the door now and happen to knock over some chemicals... Is she making that nitro stuff? I wonder. She isn't? Who knows? Wait, is she or isn't she? But if she is, then... let's go somewhere else. Good choice. Yeah, they're desperate to make sure she doesn't, like, see what's inside. Hello, Reina. What are you doing out here? Oh, it's Reina. What are you up to? Well, conducting some kind of research? Yeah, taking some samples. Think he was a bit off, but oh well. Maybe the game's only 11 chapters big then, because I think the next chapter, Owl's Heartscape's going to be like final dungeon material, I think. I see now, so this is where you wanted to take me. Yeah, I really like this place, it's special. Oh yeah, this is where we were talking when the Heartscape first appeared, and we also had to get our memories back. Yeah, this was literally the first turn of the cog, was Owl and Kokoro talking at the docks. Yeah, it was also the site of the leaky ceiling incident. Oh, it was, wasn't it? It was a big plan to get the materials we needed to fix it. And there was the embarrassing memory show and tell. Maybe there's an epilogue, true. Well, forget about that. Don't forget the Extreme School Makeover Planning Committee? Yeah, Yuki's giant project that caused everything. It was one pretty big success. The other girls started appearing one by one. I sometimes wish that this life could last forever. But then... in you go. What? What was that for? Didn't I tell you to take your mind off things? I'll get you for that. Wait, what are you? I think this is the first time they've actually been in the sea. They usually go to the pool, they never don't touch the sea. Oh, it looks like they're having fun. Oh, is everyone going to join in? Oh, Kirara's not so keen. It got dark so quickly. Yeah. Ow, come here. Huh? Oh, let's see what you've got up to in the workroom. She's been taken by that. She's been dragged by the hand. It's like, no, you're seeing this. What's going on? Aww. They did make a little party for Owl. We should have done this a long time ago, but it's a welcome party for everyone. The 3 of us who have been here from the start wanted to do this for you guys. What? I didn't think he was actually serious. If you say you're gonna do something, you gotta commit. We made a lot of food, so eat as much as you like. Yatta! Aww. Oh, can I have some more of this? There's still plenty left, so take your time. Kokoro, this is seriously delicious. Really? It means a lot coming from you, Shio. I could never cook something like this. You have to show me how to make it sometime. Of course. I have to say, I'm a little nervous. It's the first time we've had a party like this. So am I. Is there a standard etiquette for this type of thing? Chill out! You don't need to worry about that kind of stuff. You're our guests. That goes to you two eyeing the food over there too, of course. Can't believe those two talked me into this. They may have done so, but your kindness shines through too. Thank you. What a feast. I should talk to everyone now that I've had my fill. Talk to everyone. Hey, what's going on? You're still having fun? Of course! Yes. Very much so. I was actually rather worried. About what? Well, we got here a lot later than everyone else. Everyone had already gotten to know each other, so I was worried that we wouldn't fit in. They say next to Uta, the person who was dead last. But attending this welcome party made me realise something. The fact that we have a place here too. But you've always had a place here. I know, but it's different now that we actually have proof of it. I'm really glad that they had this welcome party for us. Good. Yeah, me too. It's always fun, as long as we're together. Accepted me after seeing my true self. I never expected such kindness. What's your request? Stealth and make a piano. I called it. I said we might have to make a piano when we got piano keys. But I'll absolutely make a piano for you. Oh, is this a piano piece? I wonder who picked that. I guess my guess is Hinako. A piano piece? It's beautiful. It is, but I don't think I know this one. I don't know it either, but it's a wonderful sound. Do you like the piano, Uta? I do like the sound of the piano. Being able to listen to it would, to it live would be really special. I agree. If we had a piano at the school, maybe someone would play with us. We should have a little concert. That'd be fun. Even if none of us know how to play, we could still enjoy the sounds the keys make. Why don't we make a piano then? A really big, beautiful one. By big, do you mean a grand piano? Yeah, grand piano. Okay, I'll get to work. I'll be right back. Oh, that's plot. Talk to those two. I'm guessing that's when you're done, talk to them. Oh, we got to talk with everyone. Oh, jeez. Let me... No one's using the kiddie ride for anything, right? I'm like, yeah, I'll put it that, so the piano's in the shade. It is finished. Ta-da! So, Uta, I made it, but... So, grand pianos sure are big, huh? Weren't you the one that decided to make such a big piano? It really is a big and beautiful instrument. Would it be alright if I tried to play? Of course, I want to try too. She played like 3 keys. What a lovely sound. Yes, so clear and resonant. HP, attack and defense up, but health down by 25%. It's brutal. Alright, let's go back over to the courtyard. Or here. Because she had the stealth quest we can pick up. New perspective and old scenery. Yeah, so she's wants to go back to her her area again. May I trouble you for a moment? Sure, what is it? I'd like you to accompany me to my hardscape. Your hardscape? We already got your memories back, right? That's right. I'm hoping to go back to see the view again, now that I have regained my memory. If it's too much trouble, I won't force you. It's no trouble at all. Let's go together. Thank you very much. Can I do that now, or is the game gonna be like, no, fucking talk to everyone first? Oh no, we can talk to other people. We can do that now, but... Ugh. Just because I'm literally sweltering, I think I'm gonna wrap up here, and then see the rest of these little chit-chat scenes, and then potentially the future dates following thereafter, and then go into Owl's thing. Does that sound fair enough? Who has the exclamation point? Oh, Uta does. Oh, right, there's another boost I can do. Okay. Because I'm boiling. I genuinely am. I'm struggling a little bit now. And it's like, I don't want to like make myself uncomfortable trying to play through this when this is important. So I'd rather start it like at some point. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, because I usually take Saturdays off. But then I also usually take Wednesdays off. So we'll see when we get there, alright? But either way, I think that's a good wrap-up point. So I'm going to return to the title screen. As always, in my tiredness and my slight wear and tear, thank you so much for watching. I can't believe we're so close now. I don't know if it's going to be one stream or two, but the fact that we're 15 streams in is insane. I will see you next time. Until then, though, you all take care now. Oh, there's Uta. We'll end with her. Bye.